Kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is episode 972 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say to everybody today, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to see you today. Glad to be back, everybody. It is hump day. Michael Motorcycle, you son of a bitch. You finally are back from your vacation, from your job. You went back to work, and the time for leisure is over.
Yeah, the time for leisure is over. My knees and ankles are already exploded. I'm like the aging star quarterback at the end of the game. You see him on the bench, just ice packs all over him. That is me right now.
Well, I mean, yeah. It'd be what it'd be. Now, does that improve? Is it just bad because you just went back to work after having a week off, or does this eventually improve for you, and you get back to being with less pain?
Eventually, it improves. The pain steadies out. The swelling steadies out. It's that first day back, so the first couple of days is going to be rough.
Yeah, man. Now you'll get it. I'm confident you'll get it. Mike, I think I'm in love. I think that I love Sophie Cunningham. Now, I always knew she was good looking, and I always heard this name, but I never realized that she was as fucking wild as she is, man. I'm watching a lot of these Sophie Cunningham highlights yesterday, and very impressed by her as a person. She's just an interesting chick, and again, she gets out there and she mixes it up, man. There's just something about her. She has a combination of looks and attitude and play. I mean, she was picked 13th overall in that particular draft that she came out of. Mike, I think that I'm in love with Sophie Cunningham. I am. I've got a crush.
You have a type.
I do have a type.
Yeah, her,
the
Liv
type
Morgan.
My type is the type of chicks I can't get. That is my type of chick. Any chick that I'm totally uneligible to land is my type, and unfortunately, that's just the way that it be sometime. However, I have a bone to pick with.
What did I do?
Well, listen, it's not bad. It's not a bad bone. It's just a bone. And I'm watching this new short that you put up yesterday, and I'm having a difficult time even understanding what's going on. Is there any way that you could put it up on the screen so we could watch it?
No.
Can you put it? Can you? There's got to be something. There's got to be something that you could do. Just like if you're pulling something. I have lots of questions, and I don't think people understand what's going on, and I just need to.
Yeah, that's part of the chaos of the video.
Right, but I don't. If people don't understand it's the chaos and they just think that it's confusing, then I think that just that sends a mixed message, and I don't think that people are quite understanding what's going on, because again, it's kind of difficult because you have a lot of things going on. You're showing a picture that has something written on it, and you can't see what was written on it, and also you're seeing
everything will be revealed. You have to keep watching.
Keep watching what? That's the thing. People.
There's more shorts coming. There's more stuff coming. You have to keep watching.
And it's like, it's this whole wrestler routine, which I get, which I understand, and it's a good idea. Again, I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. That's the thing. I think you're confusing. I think that you're thinking that I'm making fun. I'm just trying to clarify for folks, because again, I had a hard time just understanding myself what was going on, and I thought maybe other people may as well.
All right, yeah, give me a second. We'll do a little.
All right, yeah, Mike's gonna put this. And again, I'm not busting his balls as much as I want to. Believe me, I'm not really busting his balls. I'm trying to understand this video a little bit. Mike put up a short yesterday, and he's like, go check it out, and I was like, of course. And I went to check it out, and I was just a bit confused. That's all.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Everything's loaded. My stuff's running slow.
All right. Let me grab the board as we do get started today. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 972 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Welcome back, guys. Just 28 short shows to the big 1,000 and the 5-year mark of the Two Dumb Yinzers. We can't wait. It's coming up fast, and we're glad that everybody's here with us to make this journey, guys. Again, just 28 short shows away for the big 1,000, Mike. And again, statistically, that will put us in the top 1 percentile of podcasts in the world, if you can believe that, guys. Once you reach 1,000, you are in the top 1 percentile. So we'll take it. We'll take anything we can get at this point. Guys, everybody, welcome to the show. Let me get to the board. Great to see everybody today. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. My man Chrisophus in the house. What is up, brother? You know what? Any day that starts out with my man Chrisophus from South Florida is a good day. Welcome, my friend. Always great to see you on the terrible board. Hope things are going well for you as OTAs kick back off in week 2. Yesterday, off today, back tomorrow and Friday for this week. And then next week, they'll be in Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday to wrap up this 10-day set program of the OTAs the Steelers are currently in. Lots of news to talk about today and for moving forward. Let me stick on the board here, though, as Mike gets his video set up. We got a lot to get into today. I'm going to say what's up to Tortilla. Mike back at the OTAs. Mike back at the OTAs. What's up, Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California. Jello Donut, what's up? Great seeing you back on the terrible board as well. Jello Donut says nice tan. Considering neither of us go out into the sun ever, I guess I'll take that compliment. Thank you. Let's continue on. Just Learning says, I love chicks. LOL. Absolutely, man. I love chicks. And you know what? Sophie Cunningham's really pulling me back into the WNBA. It left a sore taste in my mouth because, again, at the end of the day, you watch this whole situation play out with Caitlin Clark, and I'm like, they're just beating the crap out of this girl. There's no referees even. It was bad for a while. But now that I see that there's an enforcer, Mike, again, I don't think I entirely knew about Sophie Cunningham. This chick is an enforcer. She's in there mixing it up with the biggest of the girls, sticking up for her teammates, things like this. So I'm back in. Baby.
You're back in.
I'm back in on the WNBA. I think the NBA is unwatchable. I feel that the WNBA was heading that way. But again, as long as they keep drafting hot chicks, I think eventually I will warm up to it. I do. I just do.
There you go. Hey, whatever works. I got the short up. You want to go see Vanilla Thunder?
Yeah, let me grab a couple more messages. Let's go right here to blah, blah. I do want to say what's up to Just Learning. Always great seeing you in the house, bro. Darth Jar Jar 1, what's up? Welcome back to the show. He says, yo, ZZ Top, what's good, brother? What's good, man? Always great seeing Jar on the board. Welcome back to this terrible board. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you. A lot to get into today. OTAs again, week 2 of this current 3-week set of OTAs that we're currently in with our Steelers. Let me move up a couple more here. I'm going to grab. I don't want to get far behind, Mike, before we do this, but I have to. It's hump day. It's hump day, baby. Let's go right here to Steelers Chic. What's up? Always great seeing Sheiky baby. Sheiky baby, all the way from Saudi Arabia. My man, Great to see you on the terrible board. As always, Sheiky baby in the house. What's up? He says, any news for quarterback too? No, but I do have some thoughts. We'll get into that here shortly and a lot more. And a lot more. And a lot more. Let's go back to Darth Jar Jar. He says, bust those balls, baby. That's right. It's all about busting balls here in the Two Dumb Yinzers. We try our best. Anyway, again, welcome back to the show. Let's go right here to my man. I skipped a little too far. Let me go right here. Hell, congrats, Jello said. Just Learning says 1% have to, okay, must have been the comment about the show. Just Learning said this, 1% have to make it with a big girl to be in the big club. Mike, you've already qualified us this. Let's go on to the next right here. Vegas, all the way from Las Vegas. My man, Vegas in the house. He says the Vegas Golden Knights heading back to the finals for the third time in their nine-year team history. While already being on their fourth head coach. The NHL is crazy how often they go through coaches. And you know what? That's my theory, Vegas. It seems like historically, every time we did get a new coach, the Penguins did go to the finals. They did it in the early 90s with Badger Bob Johnson, and then with Scotty Bowman. They did it in the late 2010s with Michel Therrien, and they went and lost. And then who was it? Balsma. Danny B, and then also Mike, again, when Mike Sullivan took over shop in 2016, they ended up winning back-to-back. So, again, in hockey, the changing of the coaches, for whatever reason, is a very powerful thing, I think, more than most other sports that we're seeing. But, guys, congratulations out there in Vegas to your Golden Knights. Again, this is a team that I don't hate in the NHL. Mike, this could be, if I had to pick a second favorite team, it probably would just be these guys.
I'm booing the Vegas Golden Knights. No offense, Vegas, but the way they cheat to circumvent the cap and everything like that, year in, year out.
Let's go on to Steeler Chic. He says this WNBA sucks. You know what? And again, I couldn't agree with you more. But again, every once in a while, you throw some nice legs out there on the court. It kind of softens me up as far as the WNBA goes. And again, Sophie Cunningham, she's just great to look at. She is. There's just something about her.
Get ready to hear about Sophie Cunningham for the next 3 months. That's usually how long Ryan's crushes last, is 3 months.
I'll be buying my Sophie Cunningham jersey next. There's a whole process I go through.
There is a whole process. You just have to deal with it, you know.
Yes, the life of my crushes are usually, roughly about 3 months. Let's go down here to Vegas. He says the WNBA layup contest should be exciting. And that's, again, one of the things I hate about it. They don't even make layups consistently. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of reason to not like the WNBA. Let's continue on right here. Christopher says this OTA Rodgers says that Jeremy Bernard looks good. He sure does look good. He's picking things up fast. A lot of good signs you want to see from a rookie, especially when you want your rookie to be productive in year one, which we do. We're expecting that very much so, as a matter of fact. So, Chris, that is great thing. It's a great thing to hear. Mark Malone says this Sophie's the only good thing about it. Right now, I agree. Again, I have to get back into watching the games. I'm sure I'll find 100 reasons why I don't like it once I do watch the games. But this is my new revelation over the past couple of days. I am crushing on Sophie Cunningham. Let's go here to Just Learning, my man. Always great seeing him as well. He says, I've done bigger girl once, not too bad. I've done a bigger girl once, not too bad. Yeah, and we've all been there. Let's continue here to Darth Jar Jar. He says SGA is unwatchable. Not the whole NBA. Also, Corey over Don't Drink Us says, what up, guys?
What up, Corey?
Corey, of course, from Don't Drink That podcast. If you're into podcast, or if you're into conspiracy theories, if you're into the recently released UFO files, if you're into the recently released information about these missing scientists, go check out Corey at Don't Drink That. A lot of cool stuff. Tons of content over there. Don't Drink That with Corey Beavers right here on YouTube, guys. Lots of cool things. And again, if you're not interested in this, there might be that or this over here or something else that you're going to be interested in, because Corey has a load of stuff on his page right here on YouTube, guys. Go check it out. Don't Drink That with Corey. Stephen M, what's up, dude? Always great seeing you on the board. Always great seeing you on the terrible board. Mike has a lot of bad things to say about you. I don't know how he knows you, but nothing but bad feedback from the comments last week from Stephen M. I don't know what that's all about. Vegas says this Vegas Golden Knights new head coach is Torts. He is 19-4-1 since he got here. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you. I listen. I hope they do it. I hope they do it. I know what Carolina's really good as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, haven't been dipping over into the NHL news much, but let's go Vegas for Vegas. I'll do it. Let's continue right here. Let's go to Darth Jar Jar. He says, "Yeah, my Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go. Only team we got. Freddie Anderson low key selling right now though." So there you go. Carolina, Vegas, we got it on the board, baby. It's all here. I'm going to go right here to my man, the original OG, Yinzer Joe. What's up, baby? Sorry I'm late. What's up, man? Always great seeing Yinzer Joe in the house. The OG, of course, was here for a very long time. Mike, we're coming up on a 5 years. So, again, we're going to have to start giving more props to the OGs as time does go on, because people do become more OGs as the time goes on. So, to add to that list, I think we should systematically over time to start adding more people to the OG list, Mike, because again, Yinzer Joe, he carries it well. He carries it well.
He does. Yinzer Joe coming in real quick. I would have pop in here real quick.
Please.
Everyone who's I've seen people jumping on Steve. That's my legit big brother. He can talk shit on me all day he wants. I appreciate you, Jelly Donut and Tortilla Jackson jumping in. I appreciate you guys, having our back. But yeah, that is my big brother.
Hold on, I am not even there yet. What are you talking about?
Tortilla, like Steve made a comment. And then Tortilla jumped on him, and then Jelly Donut jumped on him. Like, guys, that's my big
okay. I'm seeing what's going on. All right, let me go back to the future, and we'll come back to that.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to nip it in the bud.
You should have let them go on and say and bust balls. Let's go right here. Darth Jar Jar says this. He says, "I think I'm happy about the Avalanche losing." Vegas says every team can do what the Vegas Golden Knights did, but their owners are chickens. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's what they say.
This is true. The
teams that cheat seem to get there. I don't know. What are we doing wrong? Let's go right here to Steve. Let's go back to Steve. Steve says, "This show is good with the guy in the hat, but the bald guy got to go." See, this would have been funny. You should have just let this go. See how far this could have went. But that's all right. That's all right. Let's move on. I'm going to continue right here where Just Learning says this. He says, "Don't drink that." And the appreciation is awesome. Very giving with those bigger ones. And you know what? Do go check him out. Go check him out. Don't drink that. Christopher says this. "I heard Drew Aller working on his footwork was throwing dimes in the OTAs." We're going to get into that shortly as well, too. Kind of interesting information that I have here in front of me. Tortilla, "I'd rather be bald than called Steve." Okay, I see where this is going. I see where Mike started getting nervous.
Yep.
It would have just taken a bleeding, calling him a bleeding vagina or something like this, and his head would have blew off his shoulder. So, all right, I get it. You got to jump in and clarify. Vegas says bigger as in tall or wide. Bigger as in tall or wide, Mike. That's a good question. It's a legit question. Is he your bigger brother or your taller brother or your wider brother? We all need to know.
He's my older brother.
Is he bigger?
He's my older brother.
That doesn't answer if he's bigger than you.
I think we're actually talking about the big girls.
Okay, well, I'm asking about your brother. What's the matter with you today?
He's taller than me.
All right. Just Learning Vegas, thick full back type, he says. Mark Malone says, "I love tall girls." Sophie is 6'1", 6'1", which is tall for a chick. Let's go right here. Jelladona says, "Damn, Quee 425, you don't warm up, you just jump right in." Who's Quee from 425?
He was calling my brother Quee from because it's Stephen M. or Steve M. Yeah, see
how you ruin.
I gotta protect. I gotta protect the family. I love the board, but I gotta protect the family.
See how you ruin the whole.
I didn't ruin nothing.
Let's go on right here to Tater. Tater, what's up, bro? Always great seeing Tater. I think. Tater, of course, all the way from Northern Ireland, the resident Browns fan in the house. He says, "I heard all the girls are midgets in Pittsburgh." That's right. You stay the fuck out. You stay away from our midgets with your little troll mascots. Weirdo. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, "Long legs and had a 6'3" one. So 6'3". I think that's what that means. Let's move on right here. Tortilla says, "In that case, Steve is the coolest guy here."
You know what? Fuck you, Tortilla. I have you on the number one on friends list. and then you say he's cooler than me.
So you could have went on this big
We're gonna have to
thing.
reevaluate this friends list.
You could have went on this big thing where you started insulting him, not saying that he was your brother, and just could have played up. But but Mike's
Sometimes, hey man, you already got me on edge.
the end of the all right, I'll give you that. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to come back to this at some point in my life. Let's go back to right here where Vegas says selecting Flory was the best thing for my Vegas Golden Knights fandom, as I am a believer that you can't have two favorite teams in the same sport. I mean, your favorite is your favorite, obviously. But if I was to choose a second team that I don't hate, I guess it would be Vegas. But Andre Fleury was a big part of that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And he was one of the best goalies ever. If you don't believe me, look at his numbers. Steve said this. Mike had a jelly donut jump on him. Mike, what's this all about?
I don't know. But, you stick up for your big brother, and he comes in doing big brother things. You know what, Board? Have at him. Have at him.
Well, because he gets it for whatever reason. But anyway, Mike, I'm going to continue on.
Would you want the board jumping on your mom if she came?
Yes, please. By all means, jump up and down, trampoline that shit. Come on. Let's go right here to the original Yinzer Joe. I'm pretty reliable in most everything I commit to. LOL, can't help but not be committed to my boys and the Steelers, bro. We appreciate you as always, Yinzer Joe. You know that.
Oh yeah, brother.
One of the real ones, huh? Jello Donut says, as long as it's not a Jello donut. Let's go right here. Vegas, he says, where is your hairline if you grow your hair out right where you have your headset? Is it? He said,
Okay, Vegas, just because Cody's not here.
Going heavy on Mike today, baby. And
I like it. Bring it, boys. Bring it.
You know why, Mike? It's only fitting to go on you today because
No, I said hump everything. What? Too much.
Because it is of course hump day, guys. Welcome back to the show. A few more, Mike, and we're going to get to our video. Also, we have a lot to get into about the Steelers. The OTAs picked back up yesterday for our Steelers. They're off today. They'll be back at it tomorrow and Friday to wrap up this week. Let's go right here where Vegas says it's not cheating, it's math. Vegas also says we need. Listen, I'm not arguing against your Vegas Knights.
Neither am I.
I'm just simply saying because again, I don't hate them. So, we need Aller to throw footballs, not dimes. This is the NFL, not the state fair. Vegas says Tortilla. Tortilla says this on the terrible board. I knew Allah would have enough dimes to throw away. Tortilla. Also Vegas. He says you're on MySpace, VT. You're still on MySpace? Is that true, Mike? This is my lucky day with everything going on.
I'm not on MySpace. I don't know what that whack job Vanilla Thunder is up to half the time. I came in and. You'll see the video.
Let me ask you this question. Is Vanilla Thunder on MySpace?
Vanilla Thunder might be on MySpace.
This is my lucky day.
Well,
I couldn't even imagine this would be as good as it's going so far. In my wildest dreams, I really didn't.
I think he even still might have a Club Penguin account playing those little games.
Oh, MySpace. Look at you.
Is MySpace even a thing?
I don't know. But apparently you're still on it.
I'm not. That's Vanilla Thunder. That's a completely different whack job.
Christopher says Mike McCarthy said he's impressed with what he's seen so far from the OTAs. So did Aaron Rodgers. Again, very encouraging. Absolutely, not a lot of negative information coming out of OTAs so far. Vegas says my team is the Pens, but I've been in Vegas since '77. And they are our first pro team. No, absolutely. You gotta like your home teams. You got to some degree at least. Let's continue down here to Tortilla. He says, "Where's fake Kaboli when you need him?" Boy, you're gonna love what I have from him today. So much to get into. Mike, on this hump day. So much as we're rounding out May. It's gonna be June before you know it. Unbelievably, Mike, as we're going to be in the 6th month of the year next week. Unbelievable. Let's go here. I thought we'd jump on Derpy's mom, and we do, and we all do jump on Derpy's mom. Mike, you like to lead the way in that sometime in the jumping on Derpy's mom.
Derpy.
Why not? If you ain't first, you're last.
That's it. Let's go here. Let's go to Mark Malone. Usually it's Derpy's aunt. He's saying the same thing, Mike. Derpy's aunt.
I'm always there for Aunt Peaches.
Everybody's always there for Peaches. Christopher says this. Mike McCarthy said he's impressed by how quickly the team is picking up the playbook. So did Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely. Lots of good, encouraging things we're hearing, certainly out of the OTAs. Vegas says this, and that's how the bed sounds when you're molesting your son. You got to hear the noise that goes on in Mike's room when he's doing that. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know how when you're watching a cartoon when you're a kid and like there's a scuffle that's going on, and there's all this dust flying around, there's like feet sticking out and a head will pop out. That sound, that's what it sounds like with the bongos, you know, that's what it sounds like when you walk past Mike's.
And a lot of crying.
His studio door, at least. I don't know what his bedroom
And
is.
a lot of crying, too.
And a lot of crying. Yes, there's a lot of crying. In different voices. That's the weirdest part. It's never just his voice, but he's the only one in there. So I don't know. I don't know who the crying is. Let's go here to Don't Drink That. My man Corey says, I thought you meant big girls, not giant girls. I enjoy a little bit of thickness. I don't mess around with the planetary mass, though. Ah, boy, we all got Super Bowl 40, don't we? Yeah. Let's go here. Derpy's mom jumps back. Derpy's mom jumps back. She's like a leapfrog. She is. Well, Derpy's aunt. I'm sorry. I don't know about Derpy's mom. I think Derpy was hatched, as a matter of fact, Mike. I've never known him to have a mother.
Me either.
I've known him to have a dad because his dad has to travel with him. He's kind of like his chauffeur. In a way, but never known him to have a mom. Let's go here to Christopher. Christopher says, A-Rod, he can't wait for the Latrobe. Neither can I, Chris. And neither. I was thinking about you the other day. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Mike, I'm going. I'm going this year. There's no two ways about it. I think Derpy's going, so I have to figure out the day he's going and go another day. But I'm going to meet up with Chris, and we're going to have some tacos and some beer. It's going to be a good time. Anybody else comes to Latrobe in St. Vincent College, of course, can meet up, and we'll have a good time.
Hell yeah, brother.
Vegas says the Raiders will get no love unless they need to win for us to make the playoffs like a few years ago. Yeah, it's never good to hope a team. And that's what we talk about, Mike. It's good to control your own destiny. You don't want to be waiting on a team like the Raiders to win a football game late in the season in a northern state for you to get in. This is the example we're always talking about.
I mean, yeah, like the Raiders aren't they the team that them and the Chargers were playing, and if they just both tied, they both would have made the playoffs or some shit like that. And it was more or less a gentleman's agreement. And the Raiders said, "Fuck it, we're going to try and win." And the Chargers said, "Well, fuck you," and then they end up winning the game.
See, that's great. That's why the Raiders are the Raiders. That's why. Listen, unless you grew up in the '90s liking rap music, there's a good chance you don't like the Raiders. There really is, because since the '90s. Like 2000 on, they had the Super Bowl appearance where Rich Gannon and the Raiders got whomped by Tampa Bay, and they literally have done nothing.
Yeah.
So unless you were, you like gangster rap and NWA and Dr. Dre and everything else in the 90s, chances are you're not a Raiders fan, because the football team certainly doesn't give you the incentive to do so.
No. And that's about it. Or if you're a complete psycho, that's your football team.
Right.
Because you see the people in the black hole, you're going, that's my people.
Right. And again, a quarter century of not doing anything, it's discouraging for fans. Like I can imagine, as it is with our Pirates. So let's continue on right here to Tortilla. Let's go to right here, Tortilla. I hated the 49ers and the Raiders before I even liked the Steelers. Fuck the Rams.
Okay, see this now, Tortilla. This is how you work your way back up to number one on the front list, by saying smart stuff like that.
I hated the 49ers since a kid, Mike, because they were winning all those Super Bowls when I was a little kid.
Yeah. And
it was like this is my first experience with bandwagons. Everybody all of a sudden was this Jerry Rice, Joe Montana fan, and it was insane. None of which stuck as I got into junior high, and things changed. But San Francisco, that was the thing. Nobody was beating this team, Mike, because they were just that good.
They were that good. In the people want to talk about bandwagon fans now. The 80s and the 90s were so many bandwagon fans, it wasn't even funny.
It carried over, though. You got to figure them Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike. The Seattle Seahawks were big. The Carolina Panthers, when Cam Newton was winning a little while there. But I agree. Yes, the 90s were big. The Buffalo Bills. I remember girls walking around in school with Buffalo Bills T-shirts like that. Who? Buffalo Bills? You got to be kidding me. But these were my first experiences, of course, as a kid with the bandwagon. Let's continue on right here where the original Yinzer Joe says this. I'm curious to where Derpy hasn't been here lately. Why he hasn't been here lately? I'm sorry. He'll get on other late night podcasts. We hurt his feelings more. You know what? No,
Derpy.
I don't know what his problem is. He's got issues. He has listen. He has an inflated ego like you wouldn't believe. Yes, Derpy, that little weird guy that you pop on and see waddling back and forth and doing this weird shit with his background. There's an ego on this guy.
Huge.
You think I'm kidding? I'm really not. There's he has an ego, and it's again not. Listen. It's not because I don't invite him. It's not because we don't have discussions. We literally have discussions about doing things with him on the show, and he's just too good. Yinz wouldn't let me fire him when I wanted to. Now look at this. Look at the problems.
Oh, whoa!
I think he's been on one time since I threatened to fire him. The serious time.
I'm gonna say I'm all about letting you fire him.
I know. No, it's not up to you. It's
terrible board dropped the ball on that one.
It's up to the terrible
I'm blaming
board.
them. I never blame the board, but today I'm blaming the board.
You're putting them on your list.
Yeah, they're all on the list today.
The ego with this guy. It's insane.
Also good me or Derpy.
Well, the thing is, you wouldn't think so because he's like I said, he's kind of nerdy. He's he's got to be escorted by his dad everywhere he goes. But at the end of the day, I don't know.
Hollywood Derpy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. And yeah, Derpy King right there.
Derpy.
Vegas is saying on the board. Let's go to Saldualolaki. I do want to say welcome back to the show. I'm going to call you Solo today just because of my sanity. So for that reason, Solo says this. Hey, guys, my off-season depression is real, but you guys make it better. We appreciate that, Solo. And you know what? You make it better as well, as this terrible board certainly is the driving force of this show. And again, we couldn't appreciate you more. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the kind words, Solo. Welcome. Got a lot to get into today. Right here, let's go to Tortilla. The Chargers are the Steelers farm team. Mark Malone, why doesn't Derpy drive? Well, I think he has a disability, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I mean, you've noticed that he talks like he's 6, right? There's definitely something wrong with Derpy, Mike. I don't know what it is. But,
I don't know either. But yeah, there's something wrong with Derpy, and that's all I know. But do you really want Derpy behind the wheel?
No, I don't. But again, if I had to explain to somebody what the issue was, I couldn't. He just doesn't drive. He has like medical things, I think. All right, let's get through these, Mike, and let's get to the video. We got a lot to get into today with our Steelers. All the Raiders have done since has beat us every year. Yeah, of course, when Ben was here, I know that for sure. Vegas says this. I went to our game versus the LA Raiders and sat like 10 feet from the black guy with these spiked shoulder pads.
Oh, that guy, you got to sit next to that guy.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Actually, that would be fucking awesome. I mean, like the black hole was nuts. That guy, the one who always painted his face more silvery than other and had the skulls.
Yeah,
those two guys were nuts.
They make movies. I seen them guys in movies before. I think like Naked Gun, where Leslie Nielsen pops up out of that manhole and he's in the middle of the Raiders football stadium. I think that those two mascots were literally in the movie. Let's go here to Mark Malone. He says, Tortilla. He says the board and Finch went to bat for Derp. That's right. The board has stepped up, and Derpy has stepped down.
They saved him. They saved him, and this is how he repays y'all.
Let's go right here. The original Yinzer Joe says, Mike, Ryan, I think you're not giggly enough for him. He talks to bigger fellas now. There you go. There you go. Maybe we should cut his bigger fellas right off of our channel next time they want to come on. Anyway, that's something for us to talk about off the air. But I do enjoy their show. I got to be honest with you. I think that their nerd show is good. If I was into nerd shit, I would be into it. Let me continue down right here. Christine, always great seeing Christine on a terrible board. She says, little man syndrome. Exactly. Little man, big titties. Sounds like a movie. I don't want to see that movie.
The title of Derpy's sex tape.
Yes, that is dirty. That is going to be Derpy's when they do a video about Derpy one day, a show about Derpy, Mike.
Big man, little titty. Everyone thinks it's going to be a hot chick coming with big titties. No, it's just Derpy.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Vegas says King Derpy has a painful ulcer in each stomach. Vegas also says Eric Green was a big dude. He absolutely was. Mark Malone, I kind of figure he doesn't produce testosterone, the voice and boobs and all. I'm kind of right there with you. I can't confirm or deny, but I couldn't agree more. Let's get into it, Mike. I want to see this video. We're going to check out Mike's latest. And again, I applaud him. Mike, on his day off, he took the initiative. He made a video. And again, it's cool. I don't want people to be confused. And if you do have it's complicated in a sense, like it's calculated. And I just think that
because it's not just for YouTube. I got it. It's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Vanilla Thunder's branching out.
Okay, so all right, so now we have Hollywood Derpy and Hollywood Vanilla branching out. This is turning into like the spin-off Central.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's just gonna be me sitting here.
No, that's
fine.
I'll always be here.
But I want to take a look at this video just a little further, just so we can get an understanding again, Mike. So people, when they do watch it, they do understand what it is that's being conveyed. So I'm going to hand it over to you, pass the baton, if you will. Let's take a look at Mike's latest short from yesterday, and then we'll get into all Steelers.
I mean, first of all,
all right. So right here, this is of course the video.
Vanilla Thunder reporting live from the Thunderdome.
Okay, stop.
Bad takes go. Yeah.
Okay, again, I'm not busting your balls. I'm just trying to understand the paper with the Powerpuff dogs. What are they called?
Yes, they're just two dogs, just two puppies.
Now, is there relevance to that particular paper having that on it?
If you keep listening, yes, there will be.
Okay, because again, then we're gonna have to go through 6 or 7 times so I can put it all together. So okay, let's continue on.
Oh, gonna have opinions of what is the best way to do things. This is what happens. By now, they're both mature.
Wait, what was that?
See, it went to the next video. Live from the Thunderdome. This is where bad takes go. Yeah, we got a situation. Budget may be a little tight, but Thunder don't need your money. Thunder needs bad takes. Let's take it to the Thunderdome and see who survives.
Okay.
Vanilla Thunder.
So okay, so I'm going to tell you where I'm confused, and then you can help me along, because again, I consider myself an average person. So there was a story with the placemat for the Power Puppy Dogs.
Yeah, because because look, under report. We're gonna put it up. We're gonna put them up.
Okay.
So that right there, because I say, but I don't have my budget's low. I got to use my kids' homework.
Okay.
It's my kids' homework is where the bad takes are going on there.
The bad takes, as in your son's homework. Also, is that the connection?
No. No. I don't. Normally you would have like a whiteboard, a blue screen, a green screen. Vanilla Thunder ain't got the budget for that. Vanilla Thunder just uses what's available to expose the bad takes that are happening right now.
Okay, I suppose I understand. Now go on a little further. Now you write something on the back side of this paper, and I'm 100% that nobody is able to read what is written except for Rodgers at the very top, for 2 reasons. Because it's written in pencil, it's kind of light, and you do it really fast. So again, if it's important to the joke, what is said on the paper? It's
not important to the joke. The joke is that Vanilla Thunder is just writing down bad takes. You just need to see that Vanilla Thunder is writing down bad takes. The bad takes are going to be written down, and then and they're going to be battled out, and then they're going to be discussed, and then they're going to be destroyed in the dungeon.
So you expected everybody to know all this information?
No, okay. I'm building. This is the literally you build.
Okay, all right.
You ever read a book? You ever watch a movie?
No, I've never done either of those things. Yeah. Start it again. I want to see what I missed after that.
Budget may be a little tight, but Thunder don't need your money. Thunder needs bad takes.
Your bad takes. Okay, stop. So is this a thing you're doing? You want people to?
Yes, I need your bad takes.
For what? On here? Is it on your Twitter? Again,
just anywhere in comment sections on the Twitter. Wherever you put bad takes, Vanilla Thunder is going to see them. Vanilla Thunder is going to find them.
And what are you going to do once you get these bad takes? Are you going to talk about them?
Oh, I'm going to
do. Are you creating a segment? Is there a bit?
I'm creating. mainly, I just put this up so we had something out there today. This is going to be a TikTok series, an Instagram series. It works. We'll keep putting on the YouTube shorts of Vanilla Thunder in the Thunder Dungeon, just destroying bad takes.
Okay, all right, let it go ahead.
To the Thunderdome and see who survived. On here we got the terrible board, the Thunderdome, which people will eventually learn. It's the comment section. The Thunderdome is also what I'm pulling off of Twitter. So I'm just going through here, creating stuff here for Vanilla. Vanilla Thunder sits out there doing weird things.
See, now I think that you really feel that I'm busting your balls, but I'm not. I'm hoping that this conversation helps people. Because again, at the end of the day, I watch it. I liked it. I mean, of course, I'm going to like it. But at the end of the day, I'm watching it. I'm thinking, all right, what exactly is being said? And it's a little calculated, like for your very first video, is what I'm saying. I'm not bad mouthing it. I'm not about mouthing your creative ability. I'm just saying it was kind of confusing for something early on where there's a lot of holes and a lot of questions where people might say, okay, what the fuck am I even watching?
Exactly,
and then turn it and never come back, and that would be a problem, obviously. Well, no,
that's fine. They'll keep coming back. They'll keep coming.
I mean, we hope so. But again, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that I'm not? Do you understand that I'm not busting your balls?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but I think you're putting too much brain power into something that a TikTok thing that people who usually are on TikTok
I watch a lot of TikTok.
A lot of brain power.
I've never seen a lot of video. I'm never that confused.
Vanilla Thunder is going for the crazy energy.
And I should have been a little less confused because, again, I'm in the know. I know you. And, again, I'm just saying this is how this could have been confusing. Again, I'm not. I could be busting your balls, but I'm not.
I can't control what Vanilla Thunder does. Vanilla Thunder does Vanilla Thunder things. And all I can do is like you do. I can only try and, keep them under wraps for so long.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm just saying, there you go, guys. Make sure you get over to the short and like it. Even if you don't understand it, get over, hit the like button. Again, it's not lack of effort. And again, it's not I'm just a little confused. That's all. And I apologize. I can't help that I'm confused. But again, I hope that I hope that I cleared some things up for people. And again, get over, check out the latest short here.
Vanilla Thunder had me add something on here. Ryan is a hater. That's not me.
Now, what is
Vanilla Thunder?
Just for the sake of what is said on that piece of paper.
Right now, from what I can decipher, that the information that Vanilla Thunder is getting, Aaron Rodgers is washed, and the Steelers need to tank.
Okay,
that is what the bad takes that Vanilla Thunder is hearing. Is what he's been working on in the dungeon. He's gonna collect these bad takes, and then he's just gonna eviscerate them in the dungeon.
And what? I feel bad for Sommer. Sommer's been here 10 minutes and he's confused. I've been confused since yesterday, since I seen this video go up. So again, I hope this is able to help people today and understand a little bit more about the video. But there you go. And then also a large penis on the screen by Jello Donut. Let's get back to it, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 972. Let's talk Steelers. Let's get into it. Let's move on. Guys, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday were back at OTAs. Day one was yesterday for the week. They'll be back at it tomorrow and Friday for this week. And then again, 4 days next week for the Steelers at OTA. We're going to talk a lot of offense today. We're going to talk about offensive positions, offensive skilled positions to be exact, quarterbacks, wide receivers, things of this nature. Mike, but off the top, let's start right here where we did sign a little bit of help on our defense. I'm going to just start with this to get it out of the way. Mike, we did sign a little bit of depth back to that defensive line, of course, bringing Dean Lowry back, bringing him back on a 1-year contract. Mike, is he nice as far as a depth piece? Do we like him? Do we care less? Again, Dean Lowry back on a 1-year deal to help the depth of the defensive line. I
like him as depth. Really, that's it. If we end up having to start Dean Lowry for a significant amount of time, you might as well put a fork in the defense. But no, as someone coming in, a handful of plays a game, giving some of the guys a break, nice depth piece. He's not gonna wow you, but he's not gonna be the guy who's out there gonna go and make a boneheaded play. He's gonna know the system, know where he needs to be, and then do the best visibility to get the job done. He's not going to hold back YA Black or anyone else from starting, playing time, developing, anything like that. It's a nice guy to have in the rotation.
All right, let's get over the offensive side of the ball. Again, it's going to be all offense today. That was my one comment on defense. Mike, Dean Lowry is back on a 1 year to add depth to the defensive line. Again, Dean Lowry back 1 year. And again, I'm looking back through these messages, Mike, and I see what Jello Donut was saying with the big wiener on the board. He said that's what you was drawing. You were drawing peepees and wee-wees and boobies and wieners.
That's Vanilla Thunder. I'm just trying to figure out what Vanilla Thunder is doing. I found like another one he has like JPJ overrated.
Now what? That's somebody's bad take.
That's a bad take. Yes.
And who did that come from?
That came from on Vanilla Thunder's Twitter account. People were trying to spam that. Joey Porter Jr. is overrated, and Thunder didn't take kindly to that. He was sticking up for Tyrone. You're like the
new Jefferson. You're like spinning off like George Jefferson off of All in the Family. We'll make a little song. We'll get you a maid. Uh-huh. You could have some white friends.
And the best thing is too, like you guys, everyone here is in on the joke. My big payoff that I hope would be like the people who find Vanilla Thunder elsewhere and come here and be like, what the fuck is going on? Who the hell is this Vanilla Thunder guy?
And again, listen, I don't want to talk about it all day, but I think maybe like you could have oiled up a little bit, like made your head all sweaty like a wrestler. Like when they're doing these press conferences, it's real, it's live, it's over the top. That's what I would have liked to see a little bit more if you do something like that.
Vanilla Thunder said he's open ideas and he's just starting out.
Listen, I understand what Vanilla Thunder's what the hell your alter ego saying, but I needed you to understand that would be funny. You know what I mean? That would, if he was wet and sweaty and yelling and I don't know. Again, it kind of goes with that whole wrestling thing. But again, I'm not busting your balls. I just need you to understand that I'm not. I'm just not. I'm sticking to the quality of the show. Let's get back at it here, Mike. Let's get to the offense as we promised. Mike, a few things that I do want to say real quick about the wide receivers is this. I want to say that Brandon Johnson, of course, our Brandon Johnson, the wide receiver who probably isn't going to make the team. He may probably end up on the practice squad. Just a little bit of information for you. If you're my age and you've been in the sports your whole life, you know who his dad is? His dad is not our Charles Johnson, but do you remember the black catcher that used to catch for the Florida Marlins back in the late 90s? Charles Johnson? That's his dad.
No shit.
I swear to you. He was, remember they won that World Series in 1997 or 98, and they had that catcher. He's a black guy. His name was Charles Johnson. This is literally Brandon Johnson's dad in real life.
No way.
It is. And he also apparently had other family members that played pro baseball and did really well.
Yeah.
So again, you have the athletic genes for sure with Brandon Johnson, Mike. But again, do we know that this guy's even going to make the team? At this point, we don't know. Yeah. Certainly a lot of speculation going on that we could be making moves late here in the offseason. So again, really, Brandon Johnson's relevance is nil to me. But at the end of the day, his dad was Charles Johnson, that catcher. Again, something that I'll always remember for whatever reason.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to shit on the guy, but he has he had 4 touchdowns in his small career, and you're thinking, if you could play just a handful of games in the NFL, but you have 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns in your career, not being a star player, like you can be like, oh man, I'm probably like the best athlete in my family. And there's his dad, World Series winner.
How about
him trumped?
His dad, not only a World Series winner, Mike, a 4-time Gold Glove winner.
Oh shit! Oh yeah. Sorry, son. Dad got you beat on that one.
But he could catch. Though. He could catch.
Yep.
Of course, his dad is a Gold Glove catcher. So again, those genes are there. Mike, we're talking a little bit about wide receivers to start the show off today. I want to talk about MVS, Mike. I'm sure everybody read this. A lot of people must have read this, and if you haven't, do stick around for a few minutes. MVS reveals why he wanted to, what he really wanted to do, Mike. Of course, Juan Valdez-Scantling, one of my favorite additions last year, Wink. Mike, he exposed what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a Steeler. He wanted to come back, which I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want him or Adam Thielen back.
Yeah.
But, Mike, he said that the reason he signed with the Dallas Cowboys is because Aaron he didn't know what Aaron was going to do. He was kind of waiting. He watched the draft go by. He's seen wide receivers be picked. He was kind of waiting because he's a good friend with Aaron Rodgers, Mike, and he said that's the reason he chose to go and sign with Dallas, because he had no clue what was going on with Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for taking
by all means. Thank you.
Thank you for taking your sweet ass time.
Yeah. And again, obviously, this is a direction that you want to leave behind you as we kind of are moving in the direction we're moving. Leaving MVS behind is ideal in my opinion, Mike. I don't want to see any more of the late edition MVS Adams feeling. I want them to do it right, but again, when you have one wide receiver on your team, you don't have much of a choice. So hopefully we got that behind us, guys. We can continue moving forward, building this team. Somber says, Calvin Austin III had a lot of nice words to say about Dart. And you know what? Also, Calvin Austin III, it's interesting to me, Mike. Boy, did he go a complete circle. John Harbaugh wanted him. He goes to the Steelers. John Harbaugh's team loses last year because of the touchdown that Calvin scored.
Yes.
Calvin ultimately gets John Harbaugh fired.
Yes.
John Harbaugh goes to the Giants. John Harbaugh obtains Calvin Austin III. If that isn't the most complete NFL cycle that you've seen in recent time.
Yes.
He wanted him bad.
Yes.
You remember that night of the draft? When
he was pissed. He
was pissed. There was word outside the war room door for Pittsburgh that Baltimore was yelling. They're angry because John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens wanted Calvin Austin III bad. Calvin Austin scores the touchdown and knocks the Ravens out of the playoffs last year. Harbaugh gets fired, goes to the Giants, gets his guy eventually. Again, you're looking for stories and things like this in
that
NFL.
Is great.
That's a good one.
I want to see the ultimate heel move from Harbaugh. He cuts him.
Yeah. I want to see him be terrible. Yeah, that would be great.
You're gone. You're cut.
That would be great. That is the classic ending to that story. That would have to be it.
Yeah.
Speaking of other I guess you could say interesting wide receivers that played for the Giants. Mike Plexico Burress says the Steelers are going to finish third place and miss the playoffs. This is what former Pittsburgh wide receiver, former New York Giant wide receiver, Plexico Burress, the smart guy, the only guy that shot himself in the leg that I know of in the NFL in the history of my life. He says the Steelers will finish third. Mike, no playoffs. What you think about Plex?
Oh, Plexico. The Vanilla Thunder has down here. Some of the people were saying the Browns are better. Plexiglass, was that you, brother? And that's what we want to know. Loved you as a Steeler, man. You're one of my favorite players. I rooted for you. I remember you got drafted, but now you are an official enemy of mine because there's no way the Steelers are going to finish behind the Bengals, the Browns.
I agree.
Ravens at all. I can see at worst us in second place.
Mike, I think the Ravens, listen, I don't even think the Ravens, if that's the case, is going to be the first place team. I don't think the Ravens are one of the top two teams in our division. I think their offseason brought them down. I don't think that they gained back exactly what it is that they left. And again, Trey Hendrickson coming along is not scaring me, Mike. If it was Max Crosby, that would have me a little bit more concerned. The fact that Trey Hendrickson is going to be their guy I'm a lot less concerned about the Ravens, Mike. I think with the Browns defense in their draft that they had, and even the Bengals, Mike, what they showed signs of doing whenever Joe Burrow was healthy, I think that the Ravens could easily be the third best team in the league. And again, if we don't finish in first, I don't think it's going to be Baltimore that finishes in first. I just don't. I feel that they're, again, like, I don't want to say the worst team in the league, but they're probably one of the least. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. They just don't impress me at all. Of all the teams in the division, they're the one team that they just don't impress me at all.
No, because like you said, they lost so much in free agency. I like some of their draft picks, but I just don't see it, man. That defense to me is still a huge liability. They're putting you want to talk about our receiving core. They're putting a lot of faith in their rookies that they drafted to be big time contributors right away. And, outside of Zay Flowers, who do they really got? I just don't just not in love with anything that the Ravens have right now. And they always find a way to lose.
And the thing is, yeah.
They just always find a way to lose. So until they prove they can keep doing it, they're not a threat to anyone. They're definitely not a threat to Pittsburgh. We beat them, 10 of the last 12 times. They don't scare me. Cincinnati, like, their offense can be scary, but their defense is not that good. So, like, this division at worst, you can say is a toss-up, but to say have Pittsburgh at just the finishing third or last, like a lot of people have, like, get out of here.
I think that the X factor, of course, is all the new coaches in the division. And this is what's going to keep it interesting because, again, we kind of go off of what we know about the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns from their previous coaches. So, again, that will be something that we have to learn along the way. But as of right now, again, between the four teams, the Ravens, very, very unimpressive to me. But I'm sure the NFL and the media will be calling this the probable winners of the AFC North before we know it. And I'm fine with that at this point, Mike, because they do it every year. And again, it just backfires and they're not this great team. So let's move on, Mike. As we were talking about wide receivers, though, Roman Wilson, he does talk, Mike, a little bit about why he switched his number from 10 to 14. It's not what you think, despite the number 14s that were the Steelers in the past might have given the players. The 14 would have given them powers, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you think maybe Roman Wilson hopes he could get a little bit of stank off of Gainwell or maybe even Pickens from the year before. Mike, Roman Wilson says he switched from 10 to 14 because he worked in high school and college. Nothing more, nothing less.
Sometimes it's as simple as that. But I still say he switched it. So Aaron Rodgers, when he's high on perks out there playing, thinks, oh, that's Kenny G. He's getting the ball.
You know what? It's a smart move on his part, Mike. It is a smart move on his
part.
It
might be even a smarter move to deny that's why he changed to 14. Just to go, no, man, I wore it.
Another thing about him, I was wondering, Mike, with Coach T, I was thinking about this a little bit. All right, so he was out his whole entire first year, Roman Wilson was. And I got to be honest, I don't even remember what the injury was at this point. But you know how if you feel somebody who isn't doing everything necessary that they need to do. And do you think that maybe Coach Tomlin was not happy, not thrilled perhaps with the way that rookie season went? Because again, he was injured a very, very long time. Maybe this guy, maybe he isn't giving it all. Maybe he doesn't want to be here. Do you think any of that played into it? And again, we're going to learn a lot this year under a different coaching staff. But again, if you're trying to make sense of the whole Roman Wilson thing, maybe like we're working together and you're the guy that just doesn't get the work done, so I don't choose you to do the job. Do you think it could be something as similar to this? Because again, you're hearing different explanations, but nothing is solid, nothing is concrete, Mike. And at the end of the day, you get a guy coming in, and you, as a coach, you want to see your young people put their best foot forward. Even if you are injured, you want to see them maybe have that motivation to them to want to get back at it. Perhaps he didn't see that. Perhaps this played a little bit into the Roman Wilson's dissipation.
It could have been because it was a high ankle sprain, and he missed the entire preseason, then the first 5 games, and only played 5 snaps in that week 6 game because he only played 5 snaps that game, then aggravated a hamstring in practice later that month and was placed on IR. So it was like 2 injuries back to back. Then it was slow recovery from those injuries. Then you're hearing last year not being willing to do like some of the extra stuff. He was doing extra stuff, but he was still finding a hard time to get out on the field. Wasn't doing like the weekly hangouts with the receivers and tight ends at Rodgers' house because they did that as a group. All the offensive linemen had their own little weekly ritual, and you don't do those little things, man. The coaches can be like, okay, these guys are going to be more prepared than you because they're going over film together outside of it. What are you doing? It could be major issues like that. And, they're seeing him in practice more than we did. And maybe that he just wasn't, catching on and being up with everyone else the way they were.
It's just, again, just very curious. Look at Mike Tomlin on the board. I do want to say welcome to Coach T. Coach T on the board, of course, says, I want volunteers, not Romans. Always great seeing Coach T in the house. Coach T, Mark Malone, everybody here today. Mike, so again, Roman Wilson, he's still going to be a mystery. And again, if he can step up and listen, imagine if he came in and is a productive part of this offense, how big that would be for this team. Because again, you're 1-2. Again, let's just say Jeremy wins 3. Let's say Roman's 4, or vice versa. If Roman's 3 and Jeremy's 4, Mike, it would just be so big. And on top of that, with the potential of our tight end room right now, a lot of weapons. You gotta like what the Steelers have going on, and it will just be even better. It will just be even better if you have one more weapon out of your wide receiver room, like Roman Wilson, Mike, the new running back. You still have Jalen Warren. A lot of things going on this offense. Certainly a lot more than last year. A lot of improvement with the weapons on the offense, Mike. So again, if Roman Wilson can step it up, it would be a fantastic, almost comparable to Keanu Benton to me. If he steps it up on the defensive line and he has a good year, the defensive line is going to have a good year because he's basically the weakest link. So if you would take somebody like Roman Wilson in your wide receiver room and he has a good year, no, I'm talking a good year, not good for Roman Wilson terms. I mean, a good year.
Yeah.
I think that the team is just going to be better by default because he kind of falls in as your weakest link at receiver. Now he's having a big season. So now you're 1, you're 2, they're doing what they do. Your rookie's doing things, hopefully, that we could that we could say exceeds his expectations. And if Roman Wilson, again, Mike, if he has a good year, it almost guarantees that there's a good year. Almost, again, like I said, Keanu Benton on the offensive side of the ball. Same thing, same theory, same philosophy. Mike, I'm really pulling for Roman Wilson to have a big season this year, and I think a lot of people should too, because if he does it, Mike, then you're kind of tapering off to the end of your wide receiver room again. Now you're depending on Skoranek to make big plays on offense. You're expecting your rookies perhaps to make big plays. Roman Wilson, in my opinion, Mike, for this to be a big season, he needs to have a pretty damn good year.
Oh yeah, it needs to be a knock it out of the park type of year. This is what year 3 for him coming in. He needs to put up or shut up.
I agree.
And because if he can have a good year, that means this team's going to have a good year. And this is the offense to have that in. You're not going to see a lot of 13 and 14 personnel where you're seeing 3 and 4 tight ends out there. Mike McCarthy likes to run just a typical 3 wide receiver set with 1 tight end for the most part. So you're figuring you're going to run so many plays. There's going to be packages where you're going to be out there as that 3rd receiver sometimes. You're going to be out there as that 4th receiver. You got a lot of big targets, bigger name players out there that teams are going to want to key in on. That should allow you to feast in certain areas. And every time you're out there, should be looking not to make a big play, just to get your play done. Do what to quote Bill Belichick, just go do your job. That's all they need out of Roman Wilson. They don't need him to go play hero ball. They don't need him to be hurdling over players right now like he did last year. You just, go run your route. Find, like we talked about on Monday, find that soft spot in the zone. Sit down in there, present yourself to your quarterback, catch the ball, turn around, run 5 yards, fall down if you have to. Just play smart football, and you, next thing you know, you're going to be trusted to do more and more. You're going to be trusted. Aaron Rodgers is going to trust you more. Mike McCarthy is going to trust you more. And they're going to design packages for you, make you a focal point of the offense in certain downs, certain situations. And if you do that, dude, you're going to be in Pittsburgh for a while. It's just all up to him. He has the talent. We saw it last year. It's just, can he be consistent with it? And can whatever doghouse he was in, whomever's it is, who can we burn that doghouse so he never has to go back into it?
So we'll see, Mike. Big year for Roman. Again, there's still speculation there could be moves made here in the offseason. We certainly know that Juju Smith-Schuster's been brought up. We know that Deebo Samuel's name certainly has been brought up for the past couple off seasons. So you know what? It's not out of the question. One day we could wake up and there could be a whole other wide receiver in this wide receiver room, and it kind of makes things a little easier on Roman Wilson. Just catch the freaking ball when it comes to you at that point. Because again, if even somebody comes in and fills up that wide receiver room and makes it a little bit more difficult for Roman, just catch the ball at the end of the day. Because again, anytime the guy catches the ball, it's going to be, again, it's a positive play, and we'll take it because, Mike, again, the weaker end of the wide receiver room, if they're catching passes, that means you're probably doing okay. Last year was a whole crazy story. Again, you have 1 wide receiver, you throw everything out the window in any kind of logical sense. Mike, also, Ray Fittipaldo gives little Eli, a 30% chance to make the roster. Talking about an offensive weapon here, maybe could be used in different ways. Again, Mike, coming down to the question is, all these draft picks, are they all going to make this team when it's all said and done? We have camp. I can't wait till it becomes June so I can start saying we have camp next month. And I could just say that and just kind of use that as a blanket statement, Mike, with camp next month, of course, July.
Yeah.
How many 30% Fittipaldo is giving little Eli, Mike? How likely do you think that it is that all 10 of these draft picks end up on the final roster when it's all said and done? They're handing in their 53, getting ready to play some football games.
I don't think all 10 are going to make it. I think Rubio has like a 1% chance of making the roster. Now, if he's all healthy and can show why before the injuries he was talked about being a potential higher round pick, maybe. But like him, Rubio, Spears, Jennings, I think they're going to have the hardest time making it. But you figure Mad Max, Bernard, Aller, Everett, Dunker, Weegan are all 100% locks. Nowakowski, I think something drastic would have to happen, or devastating would have to happen, where he doesn't make the roster. So those guys right there make it. Then it comes down to Rubio, and then Spears, Jennings, and Eli Heidenreich. I don't know, when the running back coach gives you a new nickname, the Swiss Navy knife. Usually, you have a nickname, you're almost a lock to make the roster. Now, I think Heidenreich's going to have to compete against Caleb Johnson. If Caleb Johnson comes out and has a good showing in OTAs, in training camp, in the preseason games, I think him and Eli are going to battle it out for that spot. They have to hope. Then they have to hope they can sneak him in onto the practice squad.
And that's a big if, Mike, because again, I didn't see much from Caleb Johnson that I loved last year. I got to be honest. Everybody's always going to talk about the kickoff return, the mistake that he made in that game. But Mike, at the end of the day, there was not much that really blew me away about Caleb. And I've said this consistently since last year. He didn't have the explosion, even on kickoff returns where you can have that opportunity to have that burst. He didn't really have that burst, and that worries me about him. A lot of people saying he did this in college. He didn't return kicks. You know what? Those kind of things, again, that's basic football 101, in my opinion. You're in the end zone. Don't let the ball hit off you. That's going to go to the other team if, in fact, they get down there and get into the end zone. So, again, maybe the IQ perhaps is going to make you wonder. It has nothing to do with never returning a kick. And you're like, guess what? I've never returned a kick in my life, but I know that if the ball hits off me, it's going to it's a live ball.
Yeah.
So, again, somebody that's in the NFL who's actually gotten a check that's very, very handsome, at least, even as a rookie, Mike, a second-year guy, to not know this is just kind of blows my mind with him. And I think that he's going to have to try a little bit harder than he did last year. Because, again, nothing really impressed me with Caleb Johnson throughout the season, unfortunately, because, again, these guys sold me last year coming into the season. This kid out of Iowa, this running back, just watch, see what he can do. And, again, still watching and waiting. So hopefully, he could have some improvement like in his sophomore season.
Yeah, we got to see something out of him. If not, hey, the Packers might have an opening with their running back in legal trouble. So, hey, maybe dangle him out there. Maybe
what I said,
that be dumb enough to trade him for him.
I actually said that on something I was involved with yesterday on the internet. I said, you know what? You could have Caleb Johnson. Just don't let him return kicks. You know what? One more thing that we're going to get back on the board. I don't want to miss out, and I apologize, guys. I'm going to get through these. I'm going to get through them all today. Real quick, Mike, wide receivers, Juju, Debo. You know what? I think I got everything as far as my wide receivers talk. Let's get back to the board. We have a lot to get into. We're going to talk quarterbacks, offense, Mike, offensive line, and even a bold prediction from a local news name that I think you're just going to love. You're going to love this prediction. So let's get back on the board, guys. Welcome back. Glad to see everybody. Glad for all the comments. Welcome. Thank you. Here we go. I'm going to go right here, and I'm just going to fly through these last ones and kind of get caught up to the more recent messages, Mike. Yinzer Joe said this. He said, is Johnson tradable or cuttable? What do we get for him? I'm not sure, but I want you to hear at least what Christophus is saying later on down the path here on the board before I do even attempt to answer that question. Tater says Dirt Puker is a 100% a virgin. I would bet everything. Yes, I would agree with you. For once, I agree with Tater.
Mark it down. I'll put it on Vanilla Thunder's whiteboard.
There you go. Put it on the back of the placemat, and we will have it.
Tater, Ryan, agree.
And you know what? Tater might be my new my new co-host with the egos of the my crew. I got Mr. Ego here, and then I got Mr. Hollywood Derpy. It's gonna be me and Tater Tot before you know.
I don't know why you're mad at me. It's not me. It's Vanilla Thunder.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm just trying to think of the future and
I'll always be here.
Cover all my bases. That's all.
I'll always be here. Vanilla Thunder, on the other hand, the dude's a whack job. We don't know what he's gonna
do. We'll get into it more. I got a lot to say. Let's go right here to Vegas. He says we should start a GoFundMe for King Derpy, so he can go. You know what? I disagree. Listen. I don't care about politics anymore. But I say if there's a no king anything, it should definitely be Derpy. Derpy is no king. No king. I don't want any king. Because again, Derpy. Mike. Yeah.
Can I say it? Can I say?
I will protest. What? Yeah, go ahead.
F that guy.
F that guy.
Derpy.
All right, let's move along. Vegas, held up a child. That's a child menu. But again, if that's the joke, that's fine. I want people to understand what you're doing. That's all. You have to understand my point. I haven't said anything negative at all about your video.
But not everything needs to be explained on day one.
But if it's confusing, again, there's a difference between leading somebody forward and confusing people. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. Let's move along. Tortilla says this. He says, I'm not looking at the screen, and I don't know what the video is playing or when it's just live. Yeah, go check it out if you get a chance, Tortilla. It's up yesterday. It's the most recent short. Vegas says, what is going on? What is going on? Vegas also says, do the two dumb Yinzers have a strict drug policy? What do you think?
Yeah, we encourage it. I mean, shit. You walk into the studio, you get handed a vape.
You've watched the Steelers before, right? You've been through Steeler games, through fourth quarters, through Pirate ninth innings. What do you think? Let's continue though. Let's go right here to Vegas. He says, did VT go heel and Mike didn't know? Is that what's going on?
Vanilla Thunder didn't go heel. No. He's still a lovable guy who loves his lot lizards, but he's tired of seeing the hot takes, the bad takes, and he wants to expose them. I said, have at it, brother.
So is this what you're gonna get? So you're gonna get bad takes like from different platforms, and you're gonna talk about them. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's what Vanilla Thunder is up to. Yeah.
Okay.
And then like wherever people comment him, he's gonna. I think he's tasked me with writing them down. I'm Vanilla Thunder's secretary. I have to find the bad takes, feed him the bad takes, and he's just ranting and raving like a lunatic.
Okay. I'm just trying to piece it together myself. I'm trying to understand a little bit better. Let's move right here to Mark Malone, the man, the myth, the legend. He says this is the maze, the Thunderdome. Is the maze the Thunderdome? Mike?
I don't know what corn's got to do with this.
Sure. Jello says this. Jello Donut says, ha ha ha. Somber. I've been listening for me too. Believe me, I'm going on about 20 hours of being a little confused, flabbergasted. Let's continue down the road here. Vegas says, I'm starting to believe Mike somehow ingested a bit of what that Aaron Rodgers special drug. Mike, are you ingesting smelling salts again?
You know what? Thunder was out there tracking down the Ayahuasca Express. The rumor is he made it onto the Ayahuasca Express, and I may have been exposed to some of it.
All right.
That's the rumor. We cannot confirm nor deny. We don't drug test.
Let's go here to, because Mike obviously made it clear in the statement that we were underfunded. But if we were funded well enough, we could certainly do the drug test.
We're not underfunded. Vanilla Thunder has a zero budget. I told him he gets no money.
See, now how would have anybody? Okay, all right.
It's not the point. No, you don't have to analyze every little word.
Yeah, but what if you do? What if somebody does and they start to say, "Oh,
geez, then they want it. Then they come back. They come back. They see that crazy moron again. Like, why does he have a kids menu?
See, okay. Let's move on. Let's go right here to the original Yinzer Joe. He says Lowry is a nice, reliable depth piece. And again, he knows the team. He knows the locker room. I'm cool with that. Again, Mike, Lowry did sign a 1-year deal back with the Steelers. There's some depth. Vegas says, oh, no, Vanilla Thunder is going to end up like gold dust. Mike grabbing balls, I think, is what he's saying.
If I get gold dust money.
Well, listen, if you get gold dust money, I will stop. I will stop going on and on about the video. I promise you. I will not ask. I won't even ask a question. I will never even ask a question. Let's go here to Somber. Whoa, no Diddy oil. No Diddy oil. Mark Malone says, I think he has a hard time making the roster. Diddy Thunder. Now, I like this. This is an idea I could run with.
No.
Diddy Thunder. Tortilla. This might be game ball. This might be game ball today, Mike. Diddy Thunder.
Tortilla, congratulations. You've made it onto the enemy list with Cody.
In Vegas says nice. I don't think it has anything to do with what I'm going to say. He's just agreeing and saying nice, Diddy Thunder. Let's go here to Mark Malone. He says, or the Ropers off of Three's Company. The Ropers, absolutely love the Ropers. Love Mr. Furley too, though. Don Knott. Let's go down here to Somber. Somber says this: Calvin Austin III had a lot of nice words to say about Dart. You know what? To be honest, I didn't hear what he said about Dart. I apologize. I agreed with you when I first read it, but I don't know what Calvin said about Dart. Mike, what do you happen to know what Somber's referring to?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to take your word, and I don't know if it's the thing is I just don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. But apparently he had some words about Dart. Vegas is way off topic, but Bubba needs to have a good game today versus the Cubs. He's like 1-6. You know what's funny about that Vegas? And listen, I know everybody here doesn't love talk about the Pirates, but let me jump into them for a minute. You're right. Our other 4 starters all have good records. They all have winning records. Bubba is sitting at 1-6, and again, the Cubs are a team that listen. They had 2 10-game winning streaks this year in a 10-game losing streak. And the season's only about 32% of the way through. So who knows? Talking about inconsistency when it comes to baseball. Mike, the Cubs today, game 3 of that series. I'll talk about that a little bit more as we round out the show. But one thing that is interesting, if you would go look at these statistics for the Pirates, Mike, they have scored the most runs in our division. Now, our division has no team under 500. It is the best division by record. And we scored more runs than anybody in our division. And we've let up just the second least amount of runs in anybody in our division. So again, Pirates, and also Mike, only one team in the AL has more runs scored than the Pirates.
That's nuts. And I just saw scrolling through the the Twitter that the Buccos are averaging their most runs per game since 1940.
Yes,
and we still can't get into first place.
It's a tough one, Mike.
I hate baseball.
There's a lot going on right now. It's not, you know what? It's not the first place team. It's the other teams we're finagling with right now, and we're moving to the point where we could be ahead of them here in a couple games. And we have Jared Jones coming back in a couple days. So Paul Skeens tomorrow, Bubba Chandler today. If we could somehow steal a win and make it 3-0 in the series, and then have Paul Skeens on the hill tomorrow, that would be best case scenario. Let's do Scoot Along right here. Vegas says he cheddar bobbed himself. He cheddar bobbed himself. Christopher says Brandon Johnson is 6'2", and he runs a 4.43 40-yard dash. He also has great hands. He should make the team over Robin, Wilson, and Ben Skoranek. And you know what? He's the only one that you really don't hear about. Brandon Johnson. Like, you're watching football through the course of the season, and I totally forget that he's on the team.
I think Brandon Johnson forgets he's on the team.
Maybe that changes though under the new offense.
We'll see.
Let's go here to Corey. Don't drink that. He says, I love when these experts say that we're going to go 7-10, 8-9. It's so sweet when they all eat shit and become fans in week 8. It's always a good omen being the underdog. Certainly for the Steelers, Mike, we've never excelled being the favorites. The Pittsburgh Steelers just never have. Back in the early 2000s, we were the 1 and 2 seed. How many times going into the playoffs and just could not get it done, Mike? I would rather come in as, not always the 6th seed like we did in Super Bowl 40, but coming in as the underdog, it certainly has played well for the Steelers, opposed to Patriots who played well being the favorites, even the Chiefs for that matter, Mike, in their recent run. So the Steelers, they've always seemed to benefit from being the underdog.
I think so. It's just it's better that way when the expectations aren't there for the team, because I think a lot of times they feel it because they want to live up to the high standard of those teams of the 70s. They still loom large over the organization today because the guys know when we're the favorites, okay, we got to play like those guys. We want to make those guys proud, and it puts that extra pressure on them. And sometimes they trip over their own dicks trying to live up to that standard. But I'd rather them have that high standard. But if us being underdog works, I'll fucking take it.
Let's go on, Mike. Let's go right here to Mark Maloney. He says we needed Miller, Thielen, and Skoranek and trips.
Oh, Jesus God.
It was like watching a hockey game over there. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought it was a scrum in the corner of the rink. Let's go to Vegas. Ben is a Pro Bowl special team player, though I doubt they get rid of Ben if he gets beat out. I agree. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He is a special team. I don't know who's the captain this year, but perhaps Ben Skoranek may be. I don't know. I don't know if they named one. I can't remember if they did or not. Let's go here to Jello Donut, my man. You know what? I love Jello Donut. Anytime I see this name, Jello Donut, which I had the other day, Mike, I had a really good donut you had here at the studio. You stopped in at Donuts. It was fantastic.
Hey, we got donut money.
We got donut money, but we don't
We
have
got
money for
donut money.
paper, apparently.
But this is what poor old Vanilla Thunder is reduced to around here.
I got to get you a marker or something. If you get, all right, I'll
If
continue.
Vanilla Thunder would just sniff the marker, that actually might be a good bit.
Jello Donut says this. I think
Right.
the Ravens are going to be dog shit. It's going to come down to the Bengals and the Steelers, and I couldn't agree more. And listen, don't count out the Browns. And just like it's very easy to, and they haven't finished in first place since 1988 in their division. You got to respect that draft they just had on top of a top defense. Like they were the number one passing defense last year. I know at some point they were number one passing defense. Again, the quarterback situation is a disaster, but you bring in, those two wide receivers. They brought in that Fanu on the offensive line. They also brought in, there's like 5 guys on that. And then the Browns draft, I thought, wow, that's a really good freaking pick for them.
Yeah. Like they're literally Fanu, Concepcion, Boston, McNeil, Warren, and even down to Barber,
Yes.
the tackle out of Florida. Like that's a solid draft. Like if that was any other team outside of Cleveland, I'd be like,
I'd be really high on
that team is fucking ready to go.
Absolutely.
Like a couple of those guys are going to take a year or two to develop properly, but the other guys you can, like, I think Fanu and Concepcion are going to be really good right away. Boston might take a little longer, but my God, that's a good team there. But again, it's the Browns.
I know.
It showed me. Don't tell me with the Browns until further notice, because they have not finished in front of the Steelers since 1988 in the old AFC Central. So I put zero stock in what the Browns doing until I actually see it.
I couldn't agree more. It's what the Browns do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel the way that I do, knowing how it goes for the Browns. But I would think that they should be improved. But again, you know how this goes. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this: how many years now is that every TV commentator predicting the Ravens to win the division and the Steelers have their number? It's every year, Joe. And again, it's great. I wouldn't have it any other way at this point, because if you change shit up, who knows? It might F up the whole juju and get the football gods all worked up. And so again, we'll keep rolling with it. I like the underdog role. I always like the underdog role. And again, coming in as a 6th seed in Super Bowl 40 and winning it all is that's always a nice place to go back to when you have that particular thought. Let's go here to I'm gonna go right here to Corey Beavers. My bad. Don't drink that. He said, at this point, I think Roman's injury was a vaginal tear. Might have been a little vaginal tear, perhaps. Corey's saying right here. Also, Vegas says, Joe, has it been every year? Joe, has it been every year since Ben left? It sure seems like it. Of course, he's asking him about the Ravens getting the nod over the Steelers. And I think it was even going on when Ben was here sometimes, Mike.
It was too. Even when Ben was in his prime. I remember though people picking Flacco as the better quarterback than Ben and saying that's why they're going to win the division.
Yeah. How embarrassing to say these. And I'm going to tell you something here in just a moment. It's going to blow your head clean off your shoulders. I kid you not. Let's get into a couple more of these here first, though. If I could find, here it is. Joe, Ben, got that. Let's move down here to Coach T. He said, I want volunteers, not Romans. Vegas, I wonder if Mike T will have any gray hair when he starts his TV gig. I doubt it. I think Mike Tomlin's going to look just fine. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to hear his advice to teams that are trying to make the playoffs. When he's analyzing games and telling you what they should do to win the playoff game. That is going to be, in my opinion, numero uno material, Mike, because again, at the end of the day, he doesn't know how to win a first round game. He may have in the past, but there's been a good decade that tells me since then that I don't want his advice when I'm trying to figure out how to win a playoff game if I'm another team.
Dude, if he goes out there and gives a team an advice and that team actually does, like, this is what I expect Team X to do, and they do it, and then that team wins, I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Because like how you can say this and then they win. Could it happen here? I'll be pissed.
Absolutely. It's going to be content for
months. Then I'm going to blame TJ Watt.
Hey, sounds right. Let's go to Chris. This person says Brandon Johnson can replace DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr., or Jeremy. Brandon Johnson is also a very good blocker in the run game. He is better than Roman. You know what? I listen, Chris, I love you. I do. I personally just haven't seen this from him to make those comparisons. But because you are somebody that I do love and respect from the board, I'm going to take your word. I'm going to take your word. If I went out and had a conversation today and somebody brought this, I would mirror what you just said, just because I trust you. You never led me wrong, Chris. But again, I've never seen it. So let's hope that's the case, because again, injuries happen, and he might get an opportunity to do those kind of things. But again, Chris, I don't know if I've ever seen that to make that particular prediction. But again, I trust you. I trust you. Let's go right here to another special guest on the board today. You got to love it, Mike, on Hump Day. Of course, the quarterback of the 1995-96 Super Bowl, Pittsburgh Steelers. They take the loss to the Cowboys 27-17 on January 28th, 1996 in Tempe, Arizona. Mike, the quarterback for that game. Neil O'Donnell, also in the house today.
Neil.
Big day on the show. Neil O'Donnell, there you go. Neil O'Donnell says, hopefully it isn't Larry Brown's kid.
My question, though, was that message intercepted by Larry Brown?
Ooh, that's a really good question, actually. Larry Brown, of course, the MVP of Super Bowl 30, getting 2 interceptions, almost identical, from Neil O'Donnell in the game. Great having you, Neil, always. Vegas says, hopefully BJ will get the chance to show he belongs. And I hope that, listen, if he does, because
that's good.
Because again, Mike, what I'm reading is encouraging. If you would ask me about my opinion on Brandon Johnson before the show, I would have had very little to give you, because I don't know. Again, I didn't see much from him.
Yeah.
But everything I'm seeing is positive. So you know what? I'm on board. I trust Vegas. I trust Chris. There's no reason not to. Let's continue on right here. Vegas says he made nobody miss on those. Dude, that's one thing about Caleb Johnson. It really pissed me off. Like, there was no attempt. It was almost like he was being coached to not do anything. Or the opposite, or the alternative was he just didn't know what he was doing. So I'm hoping that he was being coached to not do anything. I don't know. Again, you would love to see a rookie make a better attempt to win a job, I would think. But again, and I'm not even talking about the fumble, Mike. I'm not even talking about the muffins. I talk very little about that. Every time I talk about it, I say, let's put that aside and let's talk about, what we've seen from Caleb, because again, it's a rookie mistake. I accept it as a rookie mistake, Mike, and I don't even hold it against him. I'm just saying there was nothing about him. There was anything during the game where you say, oh, there's a speed burst. Oh, look at that elusiveness. Everything was Caleb Johnson right into the guy, right into the tackler. And it was on kickoff and those few attempts on offense. I felt the same way.
Me too. I was not impressed with anything I really saw from Caleb Johnson. And it's not just about the kick returns. It's like anytime he was out there on offense, the limited amount of time, he seemed hesitant, very, very hesitant to hit a hole. I know everyone points to that one play that was blown dead or came back as a holding call. Okay, was there a hole there because of the holding call, or is that like his one big play in the NFL was a play that came back on a holding call, and that's where he showed his burst? And because the other 2 or 3 times he carried it, it was not there. But I'm willing to give him another chance. I'm not going to get rid of him after 1 year. Let's see what he got. But he has some competition now.
Mike, let me ask you, a guy like this, how many chances do you give a guy like this? You give this guy, you keep him around for a few extra years like we have in the past with some players that might have struggled early. We've kind of done this in the past, or is this kind of a thing of the past? You think maybe a Caleb Johnson, isn't going to get as many shots as some of these guys? And again, I know other guys had different situations. Of course, Corey Trice, you kept him around through injury years because you believed in him. You kept, I think even Calvin Austin the third as a rookie. He was out his whole rookie season. You kept him around because you believed in him. Mike, where does Caleb Johnson fall in that category? Do the Steelers keep a guy like this around? Because every year they seem to keep cycling new running backs in. And it kind of makes me think that we don't know. We don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. Mike, Caleb Johnson, what's his future for the Steelers?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. You got to remember, man, new regime, they did say the slate has been wiped clean for everyone, but he's not their guy. If he was, why did they go out and draft Heidenreich? Why they go out and get another running back? Why they go out and get Rico Dwaddle?
I agree.
If they really were high on him coming in and everything, but we're gonna give this guy a chance. They don't make those moves. And they can't forget about, he was at Homer. He's a running back, but more of a special teams guy. But you got to find a spot for him on the roster. He's a running back. You figure he'll slot in there. So there's going to be a stiff competition there. And he's not their guy. Omar Khan might be like, hey, man, I this is why we drafted him. We think he can work in your system as well. But if McCarthy ultimately says, I don't have a spot for him, I think, Khan will make the call to try and trade him. Or if he can't do that, cut him and maybe sneak him back in on the practice squad. There's a very real chance he could be the first, high-picked player cut early in his career by Omar Khan.
Mark Maloney, I'm just going to grab this top right off the top. I'm going to get back to where we do belong in the messages. Mark Maloney says, got to keep Johnson running back as a dangerous position. Let's go back here to Vegas. Vegas says this, Mike. He says, so we need to GoFundMe for Derpy to get some. I'm going to be honest with you, Vegas. I don't know if there's enough money that we could put together that's going to get Derpy some at the end of the day. Mike, a GoFundMe to help Derpy get some. Again, I don't know if the money exists.
Here at the Two Dumb Yinzers, we do respect sex workers, and I would not wish that evil upon anyone. I don't have enough money to properly pay those women, so that GoFundMe might actually go to a whiteboard for Vanilla Thunder.
And with these people with the yeah, absolutely, these people are working. People are gonna be like, why don't they work? Well, they're working. Well, why are they doing that work? Now let the people work, for crying out loud. Right? They want to do whatever, F them. And you know what? Derpy benefits if we all do. But again, Mike, I don't think that there's enough money out there, to be honest. That's just my opinion. Let's move forward right here. Let's go to Vegas. He says someone will do it for sure. Where does Derpy live? Derpy lives in Ohio. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people with no teeth, maybe a lot of options there. But Derpy's in Eastern Ohio, Mike. Eastern.
Yes, he is. He's a stain on Eastern Ohio. That's saying a lot.
Derpy's a stain, no two ways about it. Under Huntington Bank Field, Tortilla says. Under Vegas says he will be a changed man once he busts off without his own help. Remember we addressed him early on about this, Mike, and I think you asked him.
Did I ask him?
Well, do you remember what his? I remember what his response was. Do you remember what his response was?
I can't remember. You remember everything, so I don't remember that.
Remember he told us that he had a dog.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Listen, before you get confused, he didn't say that he had sex with the dog. Mike,
yeah.
We said, Derpy, have you ever touched a woman, down there? And he's like, I have my dog. And it wasn't that he was saying he had sex with the dog. He was just simply saying that he's happy not having women. He's happy with his dog. So there you go. Do what you want with that.
And the peanut butter budget is off the charts from what I hear. That's what's coming through the headset.
They can't keep peanut butter on shelves in Eastern Ohio, from what I'm understanding, Mike. Let's scoot down here to right here. He'll be a changed man. Thanks for the warning. Vegas, of course. Somber says this: Calvin Austin, the third on Rodgers with Aaron. He's a Hall of Famer. Austin said you're going to have to do things how he wants. And I couldn't agree more. And they should, but not entirely. They should. He's the leader. He's the leader of your offense. He's the leader of your football team. He's the quarterback. Same as it was when you were in high school. That asshole with the perfectly gelled hair that everybody loved or hated. It's the same thing. He's the leader of the team, and of course that means something. Let's go here to Vegas. He says, "Are we fam again? We fam again. We are fam, baby. All day, every day." Somber. This is what was said about Dart. With Jackson, you could put your own little sauce on it. He puts his own little sauce on it, and you can come together to create something. Austin told Dunn, that's a big thing. I'll be like, hey, Jax, this dude right here, listen, if he's on me, I don't care what they say, throw it to me, or Jax will say, hey, Calvin, I like my quarterback to be cocky, popping it. Austin said, let's go to war with him. Good for them, Mike.
Yeah, like every quarterback has their own little quirk. Aaron's all about timing and precision. Dart seems like kind of like how Big Ben would be in like a Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton, guys who can get out of the pocket, move around, and know their guys are gonna can do a little something extra, that might have to do a little something, and they can work that way. But it felt like Rodgers, Peyton Manning for like, if you're supposed to be there, you better be there, because that's where I'm fucking throwing the damn thing.
Yeah, and if you don't, you'll get this.
If you don't get
You know,
which might be one of the best bits we've ever done on the
Yeah.
show, is you going
Why,
for
that's,
45 minutes straight. All I saw was,
but that's what it's like. That's what it's like watching him play.
and the
So
best is 2 days later, he signed. He
Yeah.
saw you.
he did see
saw
me.
you.
He was high. He was high. Vegas is probably not a good bit to CPS. Let's go here, Aaron. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Aaron Jade on the board. Here we go. Steelers with the Rockets. My man. Perfect message, Mike. I always love to see it. Mike Tomlin, coach, is back. He says the first rule about winning a playoff game is we don't talk about it. I like it, of course, from the Fight Club. I like the reference. Vegas says 36 is the answer to the trivia. Possibly. Do stick around. We will have that. Mark Malone talking to Neil O'Donnell, a couple of former great QBs here in the Berg. Let's also go to Vegas. He says that Caleb Johnson's peripheral vision sucks on returns. You ain't kidding. He
Deer in
was
headlight. No, like just like a racehorse.
like he had the versatility, the mobility of Jonnu Smith. You're just expecting something better to happen. It just never did.
Yep.
You know, like what? Wow, I heard so much better about this guy. Somber elusiveness was never KJ's thing. His thing is volume, and that's one thing that right now he's not getting either of them. I can
He's
tell you
not
that.
getting it. Yeah, because you got two pretty good backs in front of you.
He was that entire offense. I'm assuming you're talking about Iowa. Was Iowa any good? I know they're always solid. I don't know them to be
He
good.
was their entire offense.
Okay.
To be honest with you, he like
Had big games
quarterback
against
play.
Rutgers and Northwestern and teams like this. Okay.
back to back national
Iowa did?
back national championships.
Iowa? No, they didn't. You're crazy. They never.
My Indiana Hoosiers.
No, he's not from Indiana. He's from Iowa.
Yeah, but the conference.
Oh, who cares? I'm talking about Iowa and Caleb Johnson. I'm just saying. He played good. He played two good teams that year. All right.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah.
Let's continue on. That exactly proves my point. Let's go here to Steeler Loyal. He says he's 6'1", 225, and clocked in at 21.9 miles per hour. He definitely deserves. I agree. Listen, I'm not saying don't give the guy a chance. I'm just saying, is he going to be the guy that just lingers here forever and doesn't really get a chance in anywhere else either, or is he going to be able to step up and do that job? Again, obviously the latter is what we're all hoping. But again, we've in the past kept guys around a long time, like where they could maybe went somewhere else. Somebody like James Robinson, I talked about him a lot. We kept him on the back burners. We tried to get him to be a linebacker. At some point he could have went somewhere else and probably played a lot more and made more money. But being the third, fourth string inside linebacker, the Steelers did kind of keep him around a long time. And if he didn't want to be depth, which he may have, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is this guy going to fall in that boat, or is maybe he could go somewhere else, show up, show what he could do, or if he's going to be something here, whatever. But that's going to be my question with Caleb Johnson as we move along. Mark Malone says, got to keep Johnson. RB is a dangerous profession. RB is a dangerous running back, is a dangerous profession. Vegas says this. I don't think he could have learned how to be elusive enough to be our kickoff returner. Let's go to Mike Tomlin. Coach T says this, little wide receivers, big kick returners. I thought it was a good idea. Let's go here to Mark Malone. He says Peaches keeps him satisfied with the strap on.
Oh, and he's thrown.
Vegas, he says times are tough. They will do it. Derpy is a nice guy with a nice set of man boobs. They can definitely be distracted.
And that's my game plan in gameplay. That's my move. It's called the big sexy. Derpy's not stealing my move.
Vegas, he follows it up by saying Derpy drove to the draft and he lives in Ohio. What the fuck? I didn't drive to the draft, and it was 10 miles away when it was in Vegas. Now that's commitment. What you understand though, where he's at in Vegas, or I'm sorry, where he's at in Ohio, he's only about 10 minutes from the state line. And then once you get into Pennsylvania, it was probably only about 40 minutes, I would guess. No, maybe a little bit more from up there where he's at.
Yeah.
But it's really not that long. I'm going to be honest with you. It's longer to get up to camp if you're in Pittsburgh, maybe the same amount of time. If you're in Pittsburgh and you're working your way up to St. Vincent College, it might be roughly at the same time that Derpy traveled from his home to the Giraffe. So, again, not too far, all things considered. Mark Malone. Oh, where did it go? Where are we at? There we go. Right here. Mark Malone. Vegas, he says we got to get him 2. His 1 might not feel safe enough.
You got to get him two hookers.
Yeah, he don't know what to do with that. Let's go here to Vegas again. He follows it up by saying, "I'm wondering what KJ did in practice to become the starting kickoff returner in the first place." That's what I'm saying.
Like I kind of might be onto something with the answer from what Danny Smith said. So when they had the new kickoff returns, Danny Smith and the coaching staff were like, where everything is and what they can, the new rules are. It would be better to have a running back there because they're used to running through those types of lanes and holes. That was their philosophy. They thought just a pure running back would be better than a pure returner back there.
And it worked terribly because once it failed, people said, well, he didn't even return kicks in college. Well, shouldn't this have been something that the professional coaches might have looked at and said, you know what, maybe this isn't a good idea. Yeah. But there you go. But
their philosophy was like, it feels like it's going to be better suited for running backs than actual returners.
Let's go here. Let's go to Jamal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Jamal on the terrible board. He says, gang, still a gang in the house. That's right, big baby. Welcome back to the show. It is hump day. Here in the 2 Dumb Yinzers, always great seeing my man Jamal on the terrible board. Vegas said, isn't VT married? Isn't Vanilla Thunder married?
I'm not. Vanilla Thunder is married to all of the lot lizards.
All right, there you go. Gloria, don't drink that. Said the Browns haven't won anything since weed was grass. Vegas says this. LOL. I tried to give Derpy some props, and y'all were like, nope. It ain't happening. Not today.
Nope. Like, I've been a Derpy hater since day one. I'm just going to throw that out there. I was in on the ground floor of the Derpy hate. It was not a slow build. It was not, we love him. It was like, I wanted him gone from day one. Just throwing it out there. I'm an OG hater.
Tortilla saying 2 girls, Z cups. 2 girls, Z cups is what is being said right there. Mike, let's get back to some. I got a few more topics we're going to get to. We're talking about the offense today. We're talking about the offense right here. Vegas says this. They smoke Reggie in Cleveland. The old Bobby Brown. They smoke old Bobby Brown with seeds and stems and everything up in Cleveland. Steel Loyal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Steel Loyal in the house from North Carolina. He says this. Who's going to lead the receiving room in yards this year? I think Michael Pittman Jr. will. I think Michael Pittman Jr. will lead the receivers in yards this year. Mike?
I'm inclined to agree.
I just am. I'm just going to go that way.
Yeah. I think he's the steady, the more sure-handed of the two.
Yeah, right.
The two. And I think DK is going to have the more dynamic plays, the more impact plays. But Pittman will have.
It's going to be more yards. He's going to be more consistent, I think.
Yeah,
he's going to catch passes. The DK may drop sometime. In the house, Mike, you might have seen it. We do know that Mike Tomlin was in the house today. We do know that Mark Malone was in the house today, and also even Neil O'Donnell. Mike, but did you know that the GOAT is in the house? That's right, not JPJ, as some might expect. Tyrone, my friend, the GOAT, is in the house. Always great seeing you, Ty. Hope things are going good for you, brother. This is hump day. We're on an off day for the OTAs. The Steelers will be back at it tomorrow and Friday for this week. Great to see you, as always, Ty. JPJ, the GOAT, big baby. I got something I'm going to say about that here in a couple minutes. Also, let me go right here to Corey. Corey says, at this point, I'd be more available than Derpy. You would. Listen. You want to be a part of the show?
Anyone would be more helpful than Derpy.
And let me finish. Maybe there's a point that I missed right here. He says this. At this point, I'd be more available than Derpy as a two Dumb Yinzer employee, and I work full time in addition to my pod. It's crazy. This pod is a golden opportunity to become a well-known podcast. This is what I say all the time to him. He's just and I think to myself, it's one of two things. He's either too dumb or the ego, and I think it's the ego, Mike. I really do. In his own twisted little goofy Derpy mind, I do think it somehow turns out to be his ego.
I think so too.
He thinks that He honestly thinks that he's this draw. And and I'm watching his show on his nerd show, and he's disappearing. He's leaving the show. He's again, I can't even keep up with what's going. He just, I think he really believes that he's a draw. And again, I don't know what the hell he's doing. But I agree with you. I agree with you, Corey. I couldn't agree with you more. Stop by the front desk and pick up an application.
I'm gonna start emailing out applications.
Steel Loyal says, I don't hate it. I think Pittman will lead in targets, but DK will lead in yards. Fair enough. 007 in the house. That's right, big baby. Always love seeing 007, Mike. Sometimes during the off season, you don't see as many of the regular names you usually do, but when they do pop in, man, it's special. 007, always great seeing you, my friend. Hope your off season is going well for you. Corey does, Mike, say this as well. Within the next 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, within the next 2 years, this pod will surpass Deke Moats and Noah's pod. We appreciate you, man. And I already got to be honest with you, Mike. I'm not thrilled with Moats' podcast at all.
God, no.
What a disaster that is. And you know me, I don't even go around. You do all the homework. I don't go and watch other people's stuff. But Mike, from what I've seen from the Moats podcast, not very impressed at all.
Yeah. It does not look that impressive. And there are times, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but we've done better numbers than Arthur Moats. And you would expect someone who played in the NFL has a cachet.
Right. That's the point I'm making. That was an NFL football player.
Yeah, and we're doing better there.
And again, I don't want to. This is going to be. Listen, I want to say this, Mike. It's just not about patting ourselves on the back because I'm not. No. I'm not. I'm just going to say this point. There was times when during busy season, during the football season, when I'd taken snap pictures of our numbers against one of the local radio stations that also had its stream live, and I sent them the mic, and we were beating these local radio stations. And again, I'm not throwing names out there, and I'm not even saying, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying at some points, Mike, I was sending you over during season. We were beating them handedly with numbers. So again, we thank you. I appreciate that, Corey. Very great compliment, and we'll certainly keep that at heart. Thank you, sir. Tyrone, my bad. I'm late. I had a long day at work. That's good, dude. It's all good.
It's Tyrone. It's all right. You didn't miss much other than I kicked Tortilla off my friends list, so you are now permanently in the number one spot.
I do want to say this. I want to say that's fine, bro. You got to do what you got to do. I'll never fault you for that, man. I get it. Believe me. Let's go here to Ty. So speaking of Derpy, I was in a podcast last night. He's none but negative. LOL. Said we're going 8-9. Derpy
has time to comment in other podcasts, but can't come to us. Can't even communicate with us.
Listen, I'm firing him. Listen. All right. I'm going to continue talking to the Steelers. If I still feel like firing him at the end, I'm going to fire him today. But we're going to talk more Steelers between now and then. So let's see if that distracts me. I'm going to go right here to Don't Drink That. Of course, I mean, in popularity, this show is already much better. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And your show is wonderful. I got to admit, I get pulled in with these conspiracy theories. I really do. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. I can't watch podcasts of people being negative. I agree. A lot of podcasts are unwatchable. They're unwatchable. Oh, look, and there's Mike with his notes and letters again. You look like one of those. You know what you look like? You look like one of those people that are held captive.
Blue on blue ain't working, brother.
And underneath, like this, to show the date that you're still alive. That's looks like what's going on with you.
I can't even spell, man.
Vegas said over under 3,700 yards passing by the team this year. I say over. I say over easily, actually. Not easily, but certainly better than last year. Mike, what did he finish with? 33 something last year?
Something like that.
With one wide receiver who wasn't available through last 2 weeks of the season. I think add all these weapons and the improvement in the quick strike offense that I'm hearing about, I think they hit 3,700 yards easily. Steel Loyal saying over. Vegas is also saying over. A lot of that going around lately.
Last year, the grand total, we hit 3,632 yards.
3,630. Oh, easily.
Yeah, because Aaron in 16 games had 3,300. Mason had like 310.
All right. With that being said, let me grab Vegas and we're going to get to some more topics here, guys. Today's Steelers offense is the topic of conversation. Vegas says Mike is George Steinbrenner and Derpy is Billy Martin. Bubba Smith, Billy Martin. Bubba Smith, Billy Martin. 4,000 minimum is what Mark Malone is saying. Also, right here, Corey, don't drink that says I know conspiracy theories are typically negative, but I get excited talking about them and going down the rabbit holes. Maybe I'm toxic. I don't know. I think that you're not. I think that you ask questions, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. Ever. So let's continue on, Mike. I do have some things we're to talk about. Aaron Rodgers, Coach McCarthy. Mike, Aaron Rodgers is extra motivated this year. So you're asking, are we going to do as well as we did or better than we did last year in the passing game? Like Aaron Rodgers coming into his last season, knowing it's his last season, knowing that we're improved, knowing that we added weapons. Mike, he is motivated, is what I'm reading. He's motivated with all these things, a new offensive coordinator, a new offense, a new head coach, the offensive line looking like it could be good. And again, like all these weapons brought in, wide receiver position, Rico Dwaddle in the backfield. Aaron Rodgers motivated. Mike, are you buying or selling that this is going to bring an overall improvement to the team that Aaron actually really wants to win? And listen, I didn't think he didn't want to win last year. But again, if you were motivated, it would be more this year, I would think, as an Aaron Rodgers as it was last year. Another year here. He's familiar with things. I think he could be a little bit more comfortable. And again, buy or sell, Mike. Motivated Aaron Rodgers leading the Steelers to a better season than last year.
I buy it for all the things you said. You know, the line right now looks better than it did to end the year. The receiving core is already better than it was to end the year. The running back room, I think it's about the same. And I thought we had a pretty good running back room last year. So on offense, people are going to interpret this as, Rodgers wasn't motivated last year. No, he was motivated last year. He wanted to play, wanted to prove that last year in New York was not who he was. I thought he played okay this year. You know, he saw as the season went on, he got a little bit better at things. That leg or that Achilles finally healed. And you get him wanting to play one last year. When you know it's your last year as an athlete, you're literally leaving everything out there game in and game out because you don't want to have that doubt in the back of your mind. You know, you every game you want to give everything that you can, but you're also holding stuff back so you have something to give the next game, a little bit more the next game. And then at the end of the year, you know, you give everything you have, but you still have some left in the tank for next year and so on down the line. I think this year he knows that tank's running empty and he wants to get it all out of his system. So
I agree, Mike.
So there's zero regret.
Mike, 10-7, won the division, went to the playoffs, 24 touchdowns, 3,600 yards passing. Again, that was with a minimal wide receiver room. Again, that was with Arthur Smith and his brain dead offense. Mike, I agree. I think that this is going to be good. Stay tuned. If you're anybody thinking that the Steelers are going to bum out this year, I think you're 100% wrong. Not just because I'm a Steelers fan, not just because I'm a homer, and I am. Don't get me wrong. But Mike is also a logical person. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking this has the potential to be better than it went last year, and this is where I'm leaning toward. Mike, I think Aaron Rodgers has a pretty damn good season with the Steelers. Let's continue on with the Steelers offense. Let's stay. We're talking about quarterbacks. Let's stay on quarterbacks here for a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about little Brojo, little offensive line as we do move along. Mike, these are some things that I'm seeing about our quarterbacks here in Pittsburgh. Of course, Aaron Rodgers. There's not much we got to talk about. We all know about the GOAT in some capacity, of course. Mike, here we are. Let's go.
Let's do it.
One area Will Howard is standing out in is his footwork. Mike, they are very confident in Will Howard's footwork, is what is being said in camp. So again, at this point, in this juncture, they're going to start telling you the things that really stand out, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the other side of this in just a second. But Will Howard's footwork, Mike, very confident they are in his footwork. That's a good sign. And again, very early on in the road for these two young men, of course, the draft picks from this year and last year's drafts, these quarterbacks, Mike, very confident in his footwork. And then on the other hand, I'm also seeing this being said about where did it go? About Drew Aller, Mike. What was the beef with him? I don't even know where I have it out here. There was some kind of issue with his something. What was his latest issue?
We had like some inaccuracies.
His here's what it was. It was Ben. Ben. All right, let me say this. Talking about another Hall of Famer, Ben. He knows what he's talking about. Ben says, I'm sorry, Drew Aller makes me incredibly nervous watching his tape because they're still baby walking him through 3-step drops. So these, again, things are things that you can kind of pick out and get an understanding of what's going on, what's being seen. Mike, this is one of the first things you learn about it as a quarterback, as Ben pointed out, very early on in life. If you were a quarterback, is the 3-step drop. It seems like they are baby walking him through 3-step drops at this point. So here's what the question was stemming from, Mike, and was heading to. You have Will Howard, very confident in his footwork, and then you have the baby walking through the 3-step drops. Mike, is this deceiving to you on how we should think about the quarterbacks at this point? Because from what I'm reading from this week, in the end of last week, it's kind of leaning in the favor of Will Howard, just by things that are being said. Do you agree with this? And you don't have to. Don't agree. Just agree.
Will Howard was the more polished of the two coming out of college, and we knew like whatever team drafted Drew Aller was going to have to do a total rehaul on him. So this is kind of what I would expect that's happening. Like I don't think, Drew Aller is going to see the field much outside of the handful of snaps that or series that he's going to get in the preseason. Like he's going to sit all year. I think that's the plan all along. So, and they want to bring him along slow. They're not rushing him to get game ready to go out there. Well, Will Howard, they're accelerating his development. It came out today, Tom Arth is saying like he's farther ahead than we kind of thought he would be at this point, talking about Will Howard. So like Will Howard's competing for the number 2 spot. Drew Aller's competing for the number 4 spot that he already has that locked up. So right now, like I like what I'm hearing about Will Howard, that he's ahead of where they thought he would be at this point. And that's giving me confidence that he might push for that number 2 spot. And that might be, Mason Rudolph might be marched out of the building or traded away, stuff like that. And then Drew Aller, he's going to be that developmental quarterback that Mike McCarthy wants. He has a guy that's getting close to potentially be pushing for, a number 2 spot this year. And maybe when Rodgers goes, he's the guy who steps in for a year. And then you have Drew Aller progressing behind him. And if he develops the way they hope and thinks he can, you have 2 guys that are potential starters or franchise guys right there. So everything's going to plan, and probably Mike McCarthy, Omar Collin in the front office job. Like we have this young guy that we got last year that's further ahead, ready to compete. And we got the new kid that we're going to bring along and rebuild in our image. Mike McCarthy has a system of how he thinks quarterbacks should move, and that's what he is sculpting into Drew Aller. And Drew Aller did not have any type of that coaching at Penn State. It was god awful what they did up there. And they flamed out some other good young quarterbacks as well. So
that's what I'm saying.
We knew he was going to be a project. So reports coming out, if they're doing baby steps with him, they want him to learn to do it. They want it to get it to where you learn it slow to where it becomes muscle memory. You do it faster. If you're not thinking about it, you're just going to do it. And then they move on to the next and move on to the next.
Mike, you have to really, if you're a Penn State fan, you really have to question what the hell's going on with the football team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I was a fan, I'd be kind of questioning a lot of things. What's going on? Why are you teaching the quarterbacks to suck for starters?
It's like none of them. They all came in. They're like him and Hackenberg were pretty good recruits. They never really improved from that first year on.
I mean, look at the
I like what
these other teams in the division handle things compared to the way Penn State. No wonder they never win those games. No wonder they never beat Ohio State or Michigan. Again, just a head scratcher to me, Mike, for such a prominent football team in college.
Yeah.
It's
we got a new staff up there now. They showed video of their new young quarterback working out with the quarterback coach doing drills.
Like, what if Virginia Tech produces the next big quarterback out of college football?
I will I will go jump off the Roberto Clemente bridge because I'll be so fucking and screaming "fuck you, Franklin" as I jump off. Like I liked him, but he just could not get us over the hump. And if he goes down there and develops a quarterback and wide receivers at the same time, I'm going to be so pissed.
Mike, a little rumor swirl, not even a rumor, some speculation that, if Rudy doesn't make this team, Mike, listen, I'm not against them getting rid of Rudy, keeping the two young guys, having, Mike, the Jets, somebody brought this up. Maybe the Jets is a good place for Rudy to ride off into his own little sunset at the end of the day, Mike. Rudy and the Jets.
I'm all for Rudy and the Jets. If Will Howard can show that he belongs in the OTAs, the mini camp and training camp, and you be like, hey, we trust him, you go ahead and you move on from Mason Rudolph. Now that puts you, 2 injuries away from a quarterback that you're remolding and potentially playing. But at that point, you probably go pick up a vet off the street and shit like that, blah, blah, blah. But this is why you draft and develop guys. So the older guys can move on and you can have the younger guys. So it's just a higher profile battle because it's the quarterback position. But if Will Howard proves he's better or close to
the thing is, I don't think from him. I think if he's good enough, I think you move on from Mason, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you could get Drew, beyond his 3-step drop. But again, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day, Mike. But this is something, I never agree with this guy ever. And this isn't even the good one that I was talking about. Mike, Colin Cowherd. We hate Colin Cowherd. We talk about him on the show sometime. Mike, he says this. He doesn't believe in Will Howard. He said something is missing. Mike, again, your final takes correlated to what it is Mr. Cowherd said here. Is he on something? Does he know what he's talking about for once? Again, your final takes on Drew Allen. We'll move on from these quarterbacks.
This is the guy that said Josh Rosen was a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I don't take anything Colin Cowherd has to say seriously, especially when it comes to the quarterback position.
Especially when it comes to football.
It comes to anything.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Ben Simmons. We're good here.
As long as it comprises of Colin Cowherd opening his mouth.
Exactly.
I disagree with them.
I've never really heard him say anything intelligent. It's all rage baiting.
Let's do a few more things, and I will get back to the board. We're going to get everybody in here today, Mike. 12-5. 12-5 is where Ben has the Steelers. I talked about Ben briefly, and I have that in my notes. Ben says the Steelers, his prediction is 12-5, which was actually my prediction as well. Mike, I'm going to talk a little bit about the offensive line before we do move on. But I do want to say this, guys. This is something that's really encouraging. Again, we talked at the top of the show about just the positive vibe, the positive words that you're getting out of camp this year, things that you want to hear. Mike McCarthy running his OTAs at a frantic pace. Mike wants everybody to be hopping, moving. I just love this. This is what I've missed for my football team for a long time. And again, I'm not going to take this opportunity to down talk anybody else. I'm just saying everything that I'm reading, Mike, it is what I want for my football team. It is what I see in football teams that are successful, teams that are winning. Mike, again, I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I would certainly say this is going to be better than it was last year. And I think the Steelers certainly overachieved last year. I mean, we talked about just some of the things just earlier in this show. Mike, the fact that they're excited, it's not, everyone loves Coach, blah, blah, blah. It's music to my ears. And again, I'm not using this as an opportunity to say anything else about anybody else. I'm loving what I'm hearing out of Steelers OTAs, Mike. And this is only May. Wait till they get into camp. Wait till they get in pads. Wait till they start hitting one another. I'm growing more and more confident with our Steeler team and its program and process.
Yeah, and this is why you go out and get a veteran coach who's been there, done that.
Right. This is what you get for
someone who knows comes in and hits the ground running, has that cachet of, hey, I'm a Super Bowl winner. I've had, look everywhere I've gone. I've had good offenses. I've had a lot of winning seasons. I know what it takes to get done, other than someone coming in trying to instill their own thing. He knows what works, what doesn't work, and is not afraid to, change it up on the fly, do what needs to be done. He's not afraid to listen to people and, go with what's going, and tweak things if need be, it sounds like. And he bringing that higher energy, which, we saw that with the Penguins. New coach, new energy. And it looks what happened. New Buccos. New coach, new energy. Why can't it work for the Steelers? New coach, new energy. If things get stale after a while, you become complacent.
In
You get something
anything
new,
you
and
do,
that helps.
in
It-
anything you do,
Yeah, and that's only gonna and you hope it's just gonna make you better because, like you said, this team kind of has been overachieving, and this team has a lot of young talent with a lot of veterans in there too who know what it takes to play at a high level. You get that new energy in that re-excites everyone, and then you take off because this team's been building for 4 years now for this moment. We just thought it was going to be with the last coach and a new young rookie quarterback this year, not the 43-year-old quarterback and the retread head coach. But it's looking like it's the right move to make.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Let's talk about the offensive line briefly, Mike. And we're about rounding third on the show, just kind of where we were at, Mike. Two particular guys I want to talk about today, and then I'm going to talk about, Mike, of course, the brilliance out of our media here. Just a moment. I've been holding this off until the end, but let me talk about our offensive line. Three players right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maurkice Pouncey. Now I'm the kind of guy that I like to go back and at least listen to what the former stars had to say. I don't always agree with him, Mike, but I used Ben as an example here a moment ago to talk about the quarterback situation. Maurkice Pouncey, Mike, of course, another great from the Steelers past. He says this about Adam Frazier. He's a perennial Pro Bowler, Mike. In my opinion, Zach Frazier falls into the same category as Joey Porter Jr. Once this guy makes the Pro Bowl, this guy is going to be a Pro Bowler every year. You just have guys who are solid in the league that, again, you just hear the name every year and you know they're going to be Pro Bowl. Mike, I agree with Pouncey. I agree with him wholeheartedly. And if it is this year, which it could very well be this year, I think he starts his run of Pro Bowl appearances. Again, not compared to anything what it used to be, or even means half of what it used to mean making the Pro Bowl. But at the end of the day, he will be an all-star, Mike. And once you get into that, it's very hard to get out of. You have to really suck it up. They're going to vote you in over and over and over. Fans, again, because this is who you know is, they're going to say, oh, this guy's the best center in the league. People are going to know you as that. You're going to get in. Mike, I agree with Pouncey. Frazier will be that guy. He will be the next big center here in Pittsburgh for lots of years. And we'll be adding his name to the Dirt Dawsons, to the Mike Websters, to the Maurkice Pounceys. Frazier's name will be on that list.
Oh, yeah, he'll be up there. Bruce Mansfield as well. I think he was the one before Webby. So it's been a long line of great centers. The biggest hurdle that Frazier's going to have is there's already two guys that are established in like the fan mind. That's Tyler Linbaugh and Creed Humphrey.
Yes.
But after his rookie year, he was talked about as being in that group of those three. Now you got you got Tyler going out to Oakland. If Oakland sucks, this could be the opportunity for Zach Frazier, if him and the Steelers have a good year, to leapfrog him in to be that number 2 center in the AFC. He might get an All-Pro before he gets a Pro Bowl selection.
Perhaps.
Because I think the media appreciates his game more than the fans do right now.
Right.
And I think if he gets that, let's say a second-team All-Pro this year, that will then elevate him in year 4 to getting that first Pro Bowl nod and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, one of those two honors, they're right. Both of them are right there for the taking for him. And hopefully he gets them both this year. And same thing with Porter. He's right on the cusp of both of those awards. And I think he's going to have the harder time of the two, getting any of those awards, just because of there seems to be an agenda against Joey Porter Jr.
I don't necessarily.
No, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. Just kind of flew that way.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'm not really even going to touch it either. So we will move on. But Mike, I do say that what a great draft pick it was on Frazier. What a way to think about the future of your team. Not so attractive when it happens, but again, a lot of people were expecting it when it did happen. So I think a lot of people do appreciate what it is that Zach Frazier brings to this team, Mike, and looking for many years moving forward.
Fatano in round 1, Frazier in round 2, McCormick was a 5th round pick. That's 3/5 of your offensive line in one draft.
Mike, that just segues right to where I'm going next. The most underrated Pittsburgh Steeler of the last couple seasons is 100% without a doubt Mason McCormick, Mike, as a 3rd-round guy, getting thrown into the Wolves as a rookie, never to look back, stepping up, playing against whoever they put in front of him. Mike, again, when other people got healthy, when other conversations about trades came up, this position was never in question. Mason McCormick, Mike, never talked about. never talked about because of problems, never talked about because of penalties, never talked about because he's letting somebody blow him up at that position. Mike, Mason McCormick, in my opinion, is the most underrated Steeler at this point in time, hands down, no questions asked. Mike, you don't even hear his name, and that's what you want from an offensive lineman. That's what's telling me my offensive lineman's doing good. Mike, for a rookie third round to be thrown in as a starter and to held his own first 2 seasons, no questions asked. Mike, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's a part of this offensive line moving forward. Mason McCormick, is there anybody more underrated on this football team than he?
No, like I saw earlier today. It was funny. I saw like, he was rated as one of the most underrated. Brian Baldinger of the NFL Network was doing some breakdown of him. 1,088 snaps last year. 1 penalty the whole season. One penalty, 32 straight starts as I think it was a 5th round pick. Even better. Yeah. Came in, started at least a year earlier because, James Daniels blew out his Achilles. He was supposed to sit and learn, thrust into the starting lineup, and got better and better and better. And now him and Futanu have formed a great duo. And you keep those two together, you flip them to the left side. It's going to be a killer combo on the blind side right there. Is he perfect? No, but absolutely not. My God, he's put. I want to see what he does with Jari Evans and Camden as the 2 new O-line coaches. Because he's athletic, he's mean, he's nasty, and he's a worker. It just, I think he's only going to get better and better this year.
He's my number 1 underrated guy. So I'm saying fourth round, perhaps, is what he's saying.
I always get him confused.
Any way you slice it, it's better than the third. It's even making his case even better. You know what? That's the point I'm trying to make. Very, very thankful for what it was, Mike. Sometimes you go seasons trying to hunt down a position, somebody to play a position. Going to my next person on the list, Rodgers Jones, who was not quite as easy to work in as we're talking about Mason McCormick was. Mike, the big conversation about Rodgers Jones at this point in the OTAs is his confidence level and his mental state is now becoming the issue. It's not even his injury so much. They're saying his injury could surely prevent him from participating, of course, in these OTAs, also through camp. We just don't know when his availability is going to be. Mike, does this guy have any chance at all? Now, again, the mental state and the confidence level is what he had his 5th-year contract decline. He lost his position. He had so many different things, Mike, that you could say are negative against him at this point. Mike, but with his confidence level and mental state and all these things happening, is there any chance this guy works his way back on to the Steelers offensive line, or should he seriously start considering what the hell else may possibly be out there around the league for when he does get healthy? Because at the end of the day, I can't foresee us going to Broderick Jones. Maybe I'm wrong. But Mike, I can't see him getting back into the starting offensive line and staying there and being a permanent fixture on this offensive line. I just, from what I've seen from him so far, I don't think he belongs there. Should he start considering maybe looking around, seeing if anybody else is possibly a possibility in the future? Because again, Mike, your thoughts on Broderick Jones at this point? Again, the latest on him, they're talking a lot about his confidence level and his mental state now. It's not just a physical. It's not just dealing with the injuries. It's not just understanding position. It's not just the techniques. Now they're talking about the mental, Mike. To me, that spells an end to Broderick Jones in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I hope it's not going to be like he loses confidence in himself, because you watch him when he plays, when he is out there and the team's winning, he's having a good time. You see that infectious energy that he brought out there.
Like when he tackled our own quarterback that one time. That was
tackled our own quarterback. And, Rodgers getting up, hitting him, but Brojo had that big smile on his face. There would be a fight. He come running in, and he's having his teammates' backs. He's pulling the guys out, trying to be the peacemaker when it showed it, and he would have that shit-eating grin on his face, stuff like that. I hope he doesn't lose any of that. But that type of injury, and knowing that your career might be over to where you can never play football again, and you're thinking, I was getting better as the year went on. I was getting a good relationship with this Hall of Fame quarterback, and then that happens. You don't know what that can do to someone's their confidence level. If it is shaken, I don't blame them for it. But like what he just needs to do, just focus on getting healthy, getting into like just in shape. He's losing weight because he can't work out as much. Just do the little things that you're allowed to do. Try to get yourself healthy just for life. Then once you're allowed to do that, start working out, which however the team wants you to do, to get ready to go test the free agency market next year.
Maybe, what was the move that Villanueva made? Was he quarterback, then tackle?
No, Villanueva was, he might have been quarterback. It was something.
Okay, so that's my point. Stop right there. That's all I wanted to do. Maybe that's the move that Broderick could make. Like, he can make the reverse move, and maybe Broderick Jones could be the answer at quarterback one day.
Hey, he won't be.
Stop the search. Stop the search.
He won't, be hindered by looking over the tall offensive lineman. We won't have that short thing to worry about.
Very true.
He's nimble for a big guy.
He's an imbecile.
He'd be like a Big Ben back there, just pushing people off of him, running around.
It could be big. Broad.
He'd be big broad. You see, this is the type of forward-thinking approach we need to apply.
That's right, baby. And finally, Mike, as we were rounding third, and again, I'm going to get to the board. I'm going to get through these messages. So let me just go with this, saying this. Mike, one of our very own right here in the Pittsburgh media makes this comment. We've talked about him before. Again, I'm just not going to come in here and start talking about the guy, but you might know who I'm talking about. We talked about him many times because of his takes being all so great. Mm-hmm. Mike, this was what was said by the fat man most recently here in the Berg. Get this. This person says the Steelers can win 10, 11 games. They can also go 6-10. Boy, that a take.
Well,
they could also win 12 games or maybe even 7. Maybe, what about 9? How about 13? What a fucking dumb thing to say. Do you agree with me on this, or am I out of my mind?
It's a dumb, especially if you're putting it out there. Like,
this is who everybody turns to for their information with Pittsburgh Sports. Mike, he says this. Steelers can win 10, 11 games. They can also go 6 and no shit. Yes, that's put it on your list. Would you pull out your doggy paper? You better write this down. That's a horrible fucking take. Put it down. Put it down.
I'll put it on the Vanilla Thunder's going to talk about this.
I'm not mentioning names, but I'm just saying right now, Tortilla is saying that Mark Caboli ate the Easter Bunny. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. Mike,
Steelers can be what? They can be what?
They could win 10 games. They could win 11 games, but they could also win 6 games. Which I understand the point that he's making, but it just sounds stupid. Why don't you throw a couple more amounts of wins up there anyway?
This is like when Ricky Bobby's dad finally got sober. Like, hell, Ricky Bobby, you can be first, but you also be second, third, even fourth. I was all hopped up on drugs and alcohol back then when I was saying that. That's kind of what he sounded like. Oh, they can win 10, 11. Hell, man, they might even win 6.
Yeah.
No shit. Like, you can say that for every team in the NFL.
Again, it's the point of who it is. I just
dumbass.
It makes me nuts. But besides the point, let's get back to it, everybody. Thanks, Captain Obvious is what Summer. Yes, thank you, Summer. That is exactly what I'm trying to emote with my hands. That I'm doing with my hands. That is exactly what I'm doing. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Ty says I got us at 11 and 6 because you know what, you're a normal person and you made a prediction like a normal person. I can make a prediction. I'm going to give you 15 different answers. That way, when one of them happens, this fat fuck's going to be sitting out there going, see, I called that. I said that they were going to win 11 games. Well, no shit, dude. You said they were going to win 12, 13, 14, 10, 9, and 6, too. This is the point I'm trying to make. Again, I'm not trying to pick point. I'm trying to not be a dick. I'm just saying it just caught me funny. Let's get back to the terrible board, guys. Before we do start the final processes of the show, I'm going to get through a lot of these. I promise you. Do hang in there, guys. Let's get to it. Steel Loyal says the moon is haunted. This is going back to the conspiracy theories. Vegas says it's haunted cheese. Christopher says in Latrobe, I'm going to stay I'm staying for the entire training camp at the Foggy Mountain Lodge. It's in Shayestown. It's really nice. Do you guys know it? I do not. But I'm very, very looking forward to hanging out with you, my man. It's going to be a good time in St. Vincent. Let's go on to Steel Loyal. Cox Gun. Moon's haunted. Vegas says this. He says y'all need to settle this. Is it Latrobe? It's Latrobe. Like LeBron. Latrobe. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says also it's Latrobe down here in North Carolina. Daggum. It is. That's what it is. It is Latrobe. Corey says this is don't drink that. He says it's all rewarded, no risk for Pittsburgh this year. Nobody's expecting anything from this team. We have nothing to lose in a Super Bowl again. I agree. Again, I think this is where the Steelers thrive, is in these situations. This is why I'm very optimistic about our Steelers this year. And the more and more we get optimistic on this show, have you noticed the less and less Tater pops up here? When he thought we had big problems, Tater was here every day.
32nd worst team, 32nd organization.
But now all he has is we only have 5 fucking bathroom stalls. He has nothing to talk about, so he's not here anymore.
Tater's lost his material.
He has no more material. Let's go on to Vegas. He says this sounding like St. Bobby Bowden with that dagummit. Let's go here to Tortilla. How can cheese be haunted? Pepper Jack ain't no ghost. Let's go here to Henry Diaz. I want to say welcome back to Henry. Great seeing you back on a terrible board. He said, listen, this team is better than last year. Better coaching staff, schemes. They will win 13 games easy with the subpar schedule. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Henry. And this is a lot of what I'm saying. I think the schedule isn't as good as it could be. A lot of people are making a stink out of the schedule. I just think it's a tough part of the schedule. It's not a difficult. Again, you get both of the South divisions. You have an advantage. Believe me, I would rather be playing both of the South instead of both of the East, with the Patriots, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Eagles, even the West conferences. So again, I think this schedule gives us an advantage to a certain degree. But always great seeing you on the board, Henry. Welcome back. Vegas says this, maybe a ghost pepper is involved, Tortilla. Maybe a ghost pepper is involved. Mark Malone, he says Howard has a hell of an opportunity in front of him. He sure does. I think both of these young men do. You know what, to be honest, I hope both of them are as successful as they can be, because, again, that only helps our football team, guys. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters to me. You know what? I was probably saying, what the hell is a Roethlisberger, as well as everybody else was back in 05. But you know what? There's not a player that I love and respect more at this point in my life than what Ben was able to do on the field. Let's go here to Don't Drink That. Corey says this, Drew's footwork was what I saw last saw. I'm sorry. Our OC talked about him, but talked in circles trying to find good things to say. Also, Vegas says this, will they keep Ben out for the first ballot due to his off-field issues? You know what? It's, I guess, not out of the question. Do I think he deserves to be first ballot? I do. I think his play he deserves to be first ballot. But again, Mike, if you're not going to put Bill Belichick in first ballot, I think you really might have to consider this, what's being said. I really do.
Well, Bill Belichick, though, like, it was all the cheating scandals around the football team in winning those Super Bowls. Ben's stuff was off-field, not related to
I
football.
Understand that, but will they understand? Will they agree with you in the voting, Mike?
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I would put him in yesterday.
Yeah. Well, even you got to remember, though, even when Ben was playing, like, people would just still say, oh, well, he was carried by the defense. Oh, he was carried by the run game.
What a joke.
So he's only
the 7th passer all time, best passer all time, but he was carried
by he played in a passing era.
Yeah.
With the guys above him or right below him, they don't get that mark too. There's always been that agenda, even before the allegations, against Big Ben. Like when he was beating Tom Brady and Donovan McNabb as a rookie, and Tony Romo, those Cowboys teams, those were really good teams. They were setting records for wins, all of them were. And then here's rookie Ben going in, outperforming all those guys, and then he'll perform just about everyone in his career except for a handful of quarterbacks who happen to be, like, I don't know, the top 4 quarterbacks of all time, and they all just happen to play in Ben's era. So, but there's always been that agenda against his play on the field for some odd reason. He should be a locked-on, guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
And if you want more into detailed thoughts on what Vanilla thinks, do check him out over on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Twitter, Mike. What is it again? Vanilla Thunder 69?
Thunder 6969.
Unfortunately, we don't have the time to carry the whole opinion, Mike. As well. I mean, you could see the time as well. I'm just letting you know.
Shit, I'm sorry. I didn't realize what time it was.
Nope,
my bad.
I'm as aware of it as you are now. Let's continue on right here. Steel Loyal says, I can't wait to watch 18 in preseason. I can't wait to watch all this preseason, baby. There's so much I want to see. With the free agents and the rookies and the new coaching staff and the offense. Jeez, oh man, this is going to be a blast, guys. Let's go here to Tortilla. Depends on who Big Ben goes against. To be honest, Mark Malone, we all know what kind of coaching they get up in there in Sandusky State. Let's go here. Corey says it's called starting reps. He's lacking reps and game speed. Mystery solved. Let's go here to Vegas. He said the 2027 new guys qualifying for the Hall of Fame. Ben, Gronk, AP, Richard Sherman, AB, Alex Mack, Whitworth, Weddle, Oh, that was that safety out of
Yeah, the white safety.
white guy. Gerald McCoy, Le'Veon, Joe Hayden, Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Brooks, offensive lineman, Hightower, Ryan Kerrigan. So I mean, there are some big ones. Of course, the top names, Mike, are the ones that certainly impressed me the most. The Gronks, the ABs, even Joe Hayden. These guys are the guys, in my opinion. Richard Sherman, I think, is a no-brainer at the end of the day. But I think that unless there's some kind of agenda, Mike, I think Ben does make it in his first attempt. Vegas says this. He says the 2027 new guys. Also, he said, following up, Mike, I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I do want to say what's up to AMG Amazing. Great to have you on the show. Great to see you. Welcome to the Terrible Board.
What up?
Welcome. Glad to have you here. Let's go down to Mark Malone. He says this got to extend Frazier, McCormick, and Fatanu. Absolutely. You got to keep this offensive line together. This is the bread and butter, Mike, moving forward as they set out to do this 4 or 5 years ago to start this process of building their interior lines to be there for a long, long time. So I couldn't agree with you more. Mark. Also, Somber was talking about the draft position of McCormick. I'm going to just go right past that for the moment. Vegas says, and now he is reportedly going back to his college position of left guard. Just very interesting, of course, but he's always going to be a part of this offensive line. I would think, again, very much, Mike, Mason McCormick under appreciated.
Oh yeah, he's a stud.
Save the money. Mark says sending JPJ to get to keep the O line together. Christopher says Broderick lost a lot of weight. He did. That's what I'm saying. Let's throw him at quarterback. Let's see if he could toss the old pigskin around. Just kidding. Obviously, Mark Malone says this robustrous going to straight to pup. He's going straight to pup, Mike. He's taking old what was his name? Big Snacks' spot.
Big Snacks spot on the pup list.
Every year Hampton went straight to the pup.
I loved it.
Let's go here. Somber says muscle weighs. Absolutely. Muscle does weigh a lot. As well, and if you're not using it, it's going to go down. It's science. Vegas says Brojo doesn't seem to be paying attention to what the fuck is going on all the time. He'll just stop blocking, and why? I agree. There's something about him that drives me nuts as well. Vegas Brojo's all 22 is crazy. I will have to check that out. Tortilla Mark Caboli ate the Easter bunny. Jello Donut says it is a dumb take. Way to play both sides. That is what he does better than. Listen, that is his stick. That's his MO. Is playing both sides. That way he could always, people could always say that, oh, he said it. No, he didn't say it. He said 15 things. Of course, one of them's going to be right. That's what makes me nuts. Vegas says no. Somber thanks Captain Obvious, of course. Ty got us at 11-6. Vegas, I would love to see the team doing so well that the backups get to finish several games. That'd be great. It'd be the first time in a long time in Pittsburgh, as most games come down to the last minute and a half of the game. Let's go right here to Ty. He says that girl was trying to get that paycheck. Let's go here to Vegas. He says that Tahoe chick is nuts. She emailed her guy friend to go with her to find Ben in the Berg so she could have his baby. And the thing is, I know that Ben wasn't. Come on. But at the end of the day, people look at this shit. Vegas says, what front desk clerk answers the phone and fixes the TV? Still loyal Canes in 5, baby. Hey, you know what? Either way, I'm interested now because I know that we got skin in the race, Mike. We have some Canes fans and we have Knights fans in the house. Yeah. So again, I'm going to pay extra attention this year. Tyrone says this hush it Mark 24 bag talk. And also I do want to say what's up to Swaggy McNolegs, actually.
Great name.
Very curious about the McNolegs. What's that all about, Swaggy? But I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. He says Brooks was here and we do welcome you. Thank you for stopping by. Mike, why don't you reference the website? Tell everybody about it.
Head on over to the Yinzers.com, everyone. We got all your Steelers news articles over there for the day. All the Steelers talking points, excuse me. We got links to all of Ryan and I's social media over there. And if you're like that kind of thing, we got a link to our merch store as well. So check it out at Yinzers.com.
Lots of cool things. Go check it out. Mike does put a lot of work into the website, www.the2Yinzers.com, www.the2Yinzers.com. And I know with hard enough work, Mike, I know that your shorts will be as successful as your website. I just, again, I just had to talk about it. It was something that I felt it was talk worthy. But again, always excited to see the work that you do around here. You do a great job. Let's get to the question of the day. Everyone put on your thinking cap. Mike, you put on your thinking cap as well. It's time to get into it. It's that time of day. It's time for some Steeler trivia. Mike, we talked about the Steelers offense today. We talked a little bit about the quarterbacks. So we're going to keep it right along the lines of the offense and quarterbacks. Mike, today's trivia question of the day is a Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback question. Here we go, guys. With Aaron Rodgers being with the Steelers last year and having the season that he had, Mike, did he land in the top 15 all-time Steeler quarterbacks in passing yards? You know, we're top heavy. You know, we had two that got a lot. We had a couple that were mediocre. And a bunch of quarterbacks that you might never want to even think about again the rest of your life, Mike. Did Aaron Rodgers, with what he put up last year, did he finish in the top 15 all-time quarterback yards after 1 year's performance? Yeah. You're saying he does. If you would look him up right now, if you look up the top 15 quarterbacks for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers would be in one of those slots, is what you're saying.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, I understood what you're saying. My bad.
Okay. I see on the board, Tyrone is saying, yes, he thinks that Aaron did enough last year to put him in top 15 in Steeler quarterback history, Mike. Again, you know, it's top heavy. You know, the top two did very well. You know, a couple guys after that did pretty good. Did Aaron do enough in one season to land him to currently be in the top 15 Steelers passing yards all time?
Damn.
Yes or no? Tyrone says yes. Steel Loyal said I would assume so. It seems right. Vegas says top 15 is too specific, Mike, so Aaron must have landed 15 or 16. That's my guess. Interesting way to take it. Vegas also Steel Loyal says I think Mason only has 3,100 and A-Rod has more than that. That's what Steel Loyal is saying. Mike, what's your thought process?
Yeah, we were very top heavy. I was going through in my head the names, and I was getting down to people like Terry Hanratty, Joe Gilliam, Kent Graham. You know,
yeah.
So I think yes.
All right. Tortilla's saying no. Tyrone saying after hit 4,000 or more, this might drop to 10. So a lot of different takes on the board, guys. Mike, you're saying yes. You feel that Aaron Rodgers, he fits in one of the 15 slots if you were to pull up top 15 Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks all time. Okay. So I'm going to lock you in. That's a yes for you.
Yes.
All right. You're locked in on the yes. Guys, I'll give you just another moment. Throw up your answers. If you have a guess, throw it up. Maybe just throw something up there. Question of the day again, guys. Aaron Rodgers, with the season he had last year with the Steelers, is that enough to qualify him to be one of the top best 15 quarterbacks in Steeler history? Cordell, Neil O'Donnell, Mark Malone, Bobby Brister, Terry Hanratty. The list goes on. One more time with the answer, guys. After the season that Aaron Rodgers had with the Steelers last year, was that enough to land him to be a top 15 quarterback in Steelers history? Mike says yes. Some yeses on the board. I see a no or two. Jamal saying yes on the board as well. Tyrone, we appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much, as always, sir. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. The answer, guys, is he is number 15, exactly. As of right now, he is the 15th best quarterback in the history of quarterbacks for the Steelers. Jelladona says, yes, I don't think he'll be higher than Tommy Maddox, which he is not. He falls in exactly 15 at this point. So after a season like this, he could very well crack into the top 10 best Steeler quarterbacks in the history of our team with a good season this year, by providing he does at least as well as he did last year or better.
Damn. Yeah, that's I'm looking at the list. Whew.
You're right. But Steel Loyal just made it absolutely 15. Vegas says, of course. But there you go. Aaron Rodgers could be one of the best quarterbacks of the Steelers in history, providing how good this season goes. And he did get his weapons this offseason to help that along. So we will certainly be paying attention to that. Just an interesting thought, an interesting idea. Aaron, he even missed a game with the broken wrist. So there you go.
He even missed a game, yeah.
Guys, let's do this. Let's do a couple of things before we do go. The Pittsburgh Pirates back at it today, Mike, trying to get a sweep. They're up 2-0 on the Cubbies. This one's going 4. Paul Skeens pitches tomorrow. Bubba Chandler today. This is the one that scares me. Pirates get the win today. They'll be in good shape. This is game 3 of 4. 640. The Buccos are 29-26, as the Cubs are also 29-26. Both teams trying to keep ahead of one another. Like game 3 today. Yesterday, the Buccos beat the Cubs 12-1. And the day before, they beat them 2-1 on Memorial Day. Let's go Bucks. This is a big series for them in this grand scheme of things. Vegas, I knew 15 was too specific. These guys are getting on. You're catching on to me. I always say, Mike, the board is very, very intelligent, and I don't ever doubt that. They see things that other people don't see. Great job to everybody. Let's see. Pirates, Buccos today. We'll be back tomorrow with all kind of stuff, Mike, as the OTAs do start up back tomorrow and Friday. So we'll have a lot to get into tomorrow as the OTAs kick back off this week. And then next week, they'll be in for 4 days. So there's 6 days of this particular group of OTAs still left. 2 days this week, and then 4 next week, with Wednesday being their day off next week as well. We'll be into all that and so much more. A few things before we do get ready to go for the day, guys. It's hot. It's summer. We had the unofficial start of summer, Mike, just a couple days ago for Memorial Day. And when it becomes summer, I know that people like to crack open a cold beer and try to take that edge off. You know what? And if you're going to do it, stop and grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, guys. Duquesne Pilsner now available at Giant Eagle and 6 and 12 packs. Available also at beer distributors or wherever cases are sold. Like the people at Duquesne Pilsner always do good by us. They always help us in promotion, so we like to do the same for them. Perhaps you're not even really into beer. That's all right. Swing by, check out some of their social media. Follow them. It all helps out all the same, guys. Duquesne Pilsner. Always have it in studio here on tap, Mike, made right here in Pittsburgh. And it says right on the can, as it says, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Steel Loyal, it's 83 here, and it's going to storm. You know what? I'm liking Steel saying maybe the tornadoes. I don't like that, but I do like the rain. It's nice. It's comfortable, almost like sitting at the ocean and just listening. I like rain, so hopefully we can get some up here as well. But it is warm, certainly. Also, a few more things, guys, I do want to say. On top of checking out Duquesne Pilsner, you can check us out as well while you're on social media. We're on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. The like, the sub, the share, even leave a comment. It all helps in the algorithm and pushes us out places so we can reach more people, of course, and grow the show. But you can check us out anywhere. Hit the follow button. Keep up with what's going on with the two dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
I'm going to touch on the quarterbacks real quick.
Yeah.
Let these young two develop, but if Will Howard is further ahead than we think he is and where they thought he should be, let him have a legit competition for number 2.
I agree.
And let him be the primary backup at that point. It's, we're moving on from a lot of guys. Don't be afraid to move on from the veteran backup.
Couldn't agree more, my friend. Great take. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time, as I says. We hope to see everybody then. I feel like I do want to say thank you to everybody before we do leave. Thank you for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you to everybody on the board. You guys are a special group. You always keep the show interested, and you are the lifeblood of this show, guys. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you for everything that you do and your commitment to the show. We couldn't do what we're doing without you. Thank you so much again. And also thank everybody if you're at home, maybe you're at work, in the car, at the gym, wherever you may be listening or watching. We thank you too. Well, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time. Like to get into everything Steelers and beyond as the OTAs do continue tomorrow for the rest of the week for the last 2 days. And then again next week. So we'll be back then. We hope to see everybody then. Let me grab the last couple messages and we are going to roll. Steel Loyal, that would hurt. Imagine tomatoes getting slung at you at 120 miles an hour. Mike, that sounds like a fun bit for the show. We could
no, it does not. For Derpy.
Steel Vegas says this. I'm sorry, Vegas says I swear that Beck dude's face is some weird AI. Nobody else looks like him. You know what? It might be. Vegas, peace, my friend. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time. Hope everybody stays safe, enjoys the warm weather, and if it rains, maybe just take a moment to just enjoy the sounds a little bit. It could be quite tranquil and could help you out a little bit. So, guys, Mike, I'm going to swing back around one more time. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, grab Jello Donut. Go Steelers. Have a great hump day, boys. We thank you so much. You have a great hump day, too, as well. Thank you so much, everybody. We hope to see everybody back tomorrow. Enjoy your hump day. Stay safe. Be good, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye-bye.